Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Omar is an intro in the pod. What? Crazy, crazy.
Pod's only having 50 views?
Crazy. Hey, Omar quit because y'all weren't subbing up last stream. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Let's Keep It a Buck podcast. I haven't done that intro in a minute, man. Welcome back. Season 3, episode 2. We have our pretty much part-time co-host at this point. Rusty Buckets in the building. Say what's up to the chat, man.
Part-time co-host, and I haven't made a fucking dime.
They haven't either.
What's up?
Makes you feel better.
We haven't made a fucking dime off of our podcast either.
Okay,
I thought you were gonna intro yourself a little bit.
Yeah,
more.
I was waiting on your intro. I was waiting on this intro. Okay, shit.
All right, shit.
I find intros are stupid. If you know who I am, you do. If you don't, me saying hi, I'm Rusty Buckets won't change that.
Dang. Look at these subtle flexes, Dom, man. Just, you know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Dom, say what's up to the chat, man. Say what's up to the chat.
What up, chat, man? We out this bitch, you know. Fuck Post Malone, as always, you know.
What's wrong with Post Malone? Do I not know about the context
Post
of this?
Malone's fire.
I'm about to say, man, Dom isn't looking like a Smurf this pod because we fix it. Sage, say what's up to the chat, man.
That was good, y'all. Truth be told, I almost quit too because sleep kicked in. But I made it, and we here with my boy. We gonna get to it today.
Yes, sir, man. Shout out to the 160 in the chat. Leave us a 5-star on iTunes. Help us in the algorithm. Go ahead, check us out. Sub on Twitch, YouTube as well. We climbing up almost at 6K. If not, we might already actually be there. But how's everyone doing, man? How's everyone doing?
Doing good, bro. Chilling.
School started, so no.
Yeah, I feel it in the air, man. You know what I'm saying? The back to school Target ads are hitting.
I'm back to missing 5 days straight and not knowing what to do about it. No.
I'm sorry to say this, Sage, because it sucks for you. But I get so much like euphoria out of it being school time, but I don't have to go.
Oh man,
Like it feels so good.
Yeah,
I don't have to do school, but I know everyone else is suffering, and I don't have to suffer anymore.
You know what's crazy? I don't do fucking school, but I work at a school. Shout out Big ND. Anybody in Notre Dame?
Okay.
Hey, what's up to the boy? I'm on the campus 5 days out the week. You know. But yeah, I ain't going no classes though. Fuck that shit.
Man, y'all lucky bastards.
I think me and Sage are in our final year, right? Both of us.
I have a quiz due tomorrow. It started Monday. Like, what is happening? like, what happened to orientation? Hi, my name is Sage. I do YouTubes. Like, what happened to that, bro?
I go what Omar's been saying, bro. He's been already going crazy during syllabus week. I'm like, yeah, what's going on, bro?
Come into this joint. All right, so you have until Wednesday to get the textbook. If you're getting off Amazon, you're gonna have to find a friend, start a group me or something. On Thursday, you're gonna take the quiz.
Sage, you tell your class that you do YouTube?
Hell nah.
I was gonna say I keep that shit secret
hell
as much
nah.
as possible.
Oh my fucking god! All right, or in my county? Oh no! Oh no!
I usually lie. I have different lies for what I do for a job, and I never tell anybody what I do unless I actually know them.
I got a list. Work for Google. Work for Spotify. Social media influencer. Yeah, I just say my old jobs.
I usually say video editor. A couple of weeks ago, I was getting my haircut, and she asked, and I think I said that I still work at a grocery store, which is my first job. I was just like, yeah, I bag groceries.
Every time I go to the barber and they ask me like what I've been up to, I literally just say I've been working. And I've gone to the same barber for like 2-3 years now, and they just don't know what I do. And the whole barbershop is literally made to be like sports oriented too, and like basketball talks and shit like that. Like they got LeBron posters on the wall. They got a big ass projector, and like they're playing ESPN and shit. And then they just don't know like I make YouTube videos about sports because I don't seem like the person that does, but
yeah, that kind of reminded me. That kind of reminded me of when my sibling was going back to school. They had like the pre like meet and greet teachers and shit, whatever the fuck you call that before school starts. And I saw my favorite teacher ever that I had in high school there. And I had a conversation with him for a bit. And I was like, oh, yeah, this dude's a fucking basketball coach. And I haven't talked about basketball to him once. And then he was like asking me what's up with my life. I was like, yeah, I dropped out of school. And then he's like, he had to go somewhere. I was like, wait, let me tell you, it's for a good reason. And he was gone. He's like, you're a fucking failure. Cool.
You're a failure. All right, well. Nah, my barbershop's the same way. I ain't gonna lie. It's like a whole pool. It was a pool table before they moved in. Now it's a lot less reserved. You try to make it grind, but it was like a whole pool table. ESPN was on all the time. They always arguing about who better than who, and I am just sitting there cringing. I'm like, yo, you good? I'm like, I'm fine, man. Because like one dude come in there and it's like off rip. That he walks in. I've only seen him 3 times, but apparently he's a regular. He walks in. Dame better than Kyrie. Dame better than Curry. Let's go. And he's on time with it every time. And I'll just be sitting there laughing. They're like, yo, what you got to say to that? I'll be like, man, this guy's an idiot, but I ain't going to say too much about it, bro. And like, nah.
Yeah, literally any NBA take I hear, I just say yes. Like whenever they ask me,
I just laugh.
Like, yeah. LeBron gonna make it out the second round. Yeah.
Hey, whoa. What's going on there, man?
I'm talking about like going into the last playoffs. You see what I'm
saying? When I was at the airport, I was sitting at the terminal, and there's the seats behind you, and these 2 guys were talking about the Lakers off season, and they were like, they gotta trade Kuzma for anything. Like, dude, a fucking Prius, I don't give a shit. And I just chimed in. I was like, I don't think they can get a Prius. but then they traded him for Russell Westbrook. So partially, but you know what I mean.
Why the rushing, man?
Y'all bugging. I let motherfuckers know everywhere exactly what the fuck I do. Fuck that shit. Niggas ask me, podcast. I got a podcast. I talk basketball. That's what I want to do. If y'all
so you're an attention whore.
Oh, wow.
Not attention whore. It's not attention. How is it attention whore if somebody asks you what you do? That's not attention whore. Being an attention whore is walking in somewhere. Hey, man, I know y'all talking about NASCAR. Fuck that. I got a basketball podcast. You want to talk about basketball? That's attention whore. But no, I just like people to know, man. If you want to know what I do, I tell you what I do because I'm proud of what I do.
I can't stand any level of attention if I get someone to cut my hair. I don't have a solid barber yet. I think I might have picked one after this last haircut because she did a damn good job. It's
looking solid, bro. Looking solid.
Thank you.
That's cool.
What was I gonna say? But if they're too talkative, I'm like, I'm never having you cut my hair again. Don't ask me questions about my life. It's none of your fucking business. Just cut my hair and move on.
It's just the business. Hey, I used to be on that too. I used to hate talking to my barber, but I'm cool with New Cut right now.
I don't know, because sometimes it feels awkward if you're just like silent. Like bro is literally like doing this or fucking doing that, and you're silent. You know.
I need to get to the point where I have the balls to ask if I can have my headphones in while they do it.
Oh, I've had my AirPods in twice now. At this point, it's about to be a thing. I'd be like, bro, I don't feel like that.
It'd be a lot more enjoyable.
Oh, horrible. Jesus
bro.
Y'all treat haircuts like Uber rides.
Bro. Yes, I do. And you know what? I give them 5 stars and I give him a nice tip. If he shut the fuck up and come out there, on God, I do.
I tip well.
Horrible.
Oh God, if I get in the Uber and they don't say shit to me, they just drive where I need to go in a safe manner, 5 stars. No question, 5 stars.
It's different. If you're in an Uber, you in the front, I'm in the back, you a taxi, nigga. Like, just take me where I gotta go. If I'm in a barber, nigga, you're in my face like D's, nigga. Like, I'm looking. Now you gotta be looking all off to the side. I ain't trying to look at this nigga. I ain't trying to talk.
I look that nigga dead in the eyes because I want to make sure you know my head is centered. Like, cut my shit right, bro. Like, I'm gonna look you dead in the eye and I say a word.
You look your barber dead in the eye when he's trying to lie to shit. Say you're weird, bro. Say you're weird. You're weird, bro.
Yo, if barbers gave like Uber rider ratings, you would have a fucking star, nigga.
I just don't give a fuck.
Your barber is a grown man.
I thought that was an unspoken rule, bro.
I just don't give a fuck.
Bro, Sage, your barber is a grown trained barber. There's no way you looking off to the side is gonna throw off him having your fucking head centered. He's not gonna be like, oh, he looking over here. Oh shit!
If anything, you put so much pressure on him, bro.
I don't trust humanity and their stupidity. That's all. Like people say, oh, you're a bitch. You're afraid. I have put it this way. I have a fear of heights, right? It's one thing to get me to a roller coaster, but a skydive. The reason why I won't do it isn't because of the heights. I don't trust man-made parachutes. Are you kidding me? I think I'm gonna die. Like, I don't trust people. So when I'm at my haircut, I'm not looking down at my foot. I'm like, what are you about to do with what you got in your hand?
You're a menace, bro. No,
what are you about to do with what you got in your hand? Like, what are you about to do? What are you about to do? I hate people. What more can I say?
You look him dead in the eye.
I want to make sure, because if he fucked me up, I want to make sure he knew who did it, and I'm pissed. I hate people. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. He gonna pay for what he owe. He gonna pay for his sins.
He's doing the LeBron Game 6 stare directly.
He gonna pay for his sins.
Bro, can you imagine motherfuckers turn? They lining up the back of his head. Niggas just doing his job. Stage around. Stage.
That motherfucker turn in the corner.
That's me. That's me. I don't even smile with it. I be so.
Sage, I ain't gonna lie. I think you're the first person I've heard that actually does that, bro.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
Okay,
that's crazy.
That's fine. That's perfectly fine. that's perfectly fine. It's not gonna make me no different.
They talk about you as soon as you leave. I guarantee it.
I don't care.
That motherfucker sweeping your hair, bro. That motherfucker was staring at me while I was looking.
I talk about his weird ass too when I be on the phone. I be like, fool, my barber don't shut the fuck up, bro. Like, damn. Like, how does a human body not know when they being lame, bro? Just shut your ass up. So, like, I be going on that nigga too. If he weren't going on me, he weird. Don't act weird to me. You know what I'm saying? I be going on his ass too.
Can you imagine that nigga's just Sage just staring at that nigga? So I think ask, how you been today, nigga?
It was good.
Nigga just stare at him.
It was cool. Cool day.
Just like, all right, nah, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I'll stop your haircut halfway through. Like, all right, man.
I give back your tip, bro. Whatever tip you give, I'm giving it back,
bro. I'll pay you, nigga. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Can you record your next haircut? Because that sounds like a fucking sketch.
Yeah, get a GoPro.
If I go with my boy Trey, I got you. He tell you I do that. I dead ass don't give a fuck. I be like, yeah, it was cool, whatever.
That's genuinely like a great sketch. Just fucking pissed off dude getting his haircut.
I don't be pissed with it. Okay, I'll be pissed, but I'll be staring. I'll be like, like, what are you doing? Nigga, pick up the phone.
Like you're reading a book, bro.
Nigga, pick up the phone. I'm petty with it.
Oh, nah, bro.
Oh no, you that dude, bro. You wasting my time, bro.
Get your ass on that phone, nigga. You at work. Clock in.
Oh,
the fuck?
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. I went to a Haitian barber, bro. I ain't gonna lie. This nigga had the nerve to try to cut my hair and eat his lunch at the same time.
That's what I'm saying. They get comfortable. That's wild. Fuck that. They get comfortable,
that's wild.
Bro. You know, this nigga over here. Yeah, hold up.
Bro, I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I can't.
I need you to put that in the microwave and finish my cut, son.
I know I be doing too much.
Chicken and back to me. That's not how this is going. That's not how this is going.
Oh my
it's what it was. It was jerk chicken. I know what jerk chicken smell like.
Hey, no, jerk. You understand how you have to eat jerk chicken? you don't just pick it up and eat. You gotta like mix that shit.
Nigga, when I tell. He's eating finger food while trying to cut my hair.
That's nasty. That's dead ass nasty. I'm not tipping you if you do that.
That's nasty. That's nasty.
Niggas dead ass. Oh,
yeah, that's actually nasty.
Like, nah, son, you're not. You have to touch me now. But no, you're not. Nah.
That's easy, bro. All right, hard left from that topic. Yo, Rusty, how have you been lately, man? How's YouTube been treating you? How's life been?
Good. Other than like my video deep dive topic is kicking my ass because my brain is stupid and I get writer's block easily. But other than that, things been good. I've been on my diet shit for 3 weeks consecutively now, which usually I fuck it up after 3 days.
How much weight you lost?
I don't know. I decided I'm going to stop tracking for a while.
Good. Smart guy.
Good.
I think it's smart not to look at it. So.
Yeah, fuck it. Just live healthy. Fuck it.
Yeah, that's what I did too with my nutrition. I'm like, yo, I don't want to have a weight goal. Like, I just want to develop good eating habits and go. I think
that's the reason why I get discouraged. Is I go a week of dieting. I'm like, damn, that shit kind of sucked. I better have lost like 8 pounds. Like, fuck that. and I lost like 1. I'm like, fuck this shit, man.
Back to the pizza.
Exactly.
Oh,
is that Big O? Can you hear us?
Yeah, twin.
Big
O can. Yeah,
what
the
up,
real Big O.
Look, I gotta get Omar's reaction to this, bro. Yo, have you heard Sage's etiquette at a barbershop, bro?
Man, It's not. What's happening, man? It's proper.
Matter of fact,
It's,
no, not even
it's-
that. Yo, Omar, explain the process of how you get your haircut. When you get your haircut, how you act in that chair, bro?
I'm usually a silent dude because I don't even want to start the conversation with the barber because the barber would take forever if you start the conversation. So I get in there. I don't even say what I want. You better know what I want. And
okay, yeah, Omar, yeah, sir, yeah.
I get up, I pay you. I don't even really want you to change. That's how I'm tipping. Like, I don't even want to have too much conversation with barbers, for real. Like that.
All right, so let me ask this.
Me and Dom understand that, but go ahead, Dom.
Oh, you understand that?
I understand it
so
too.
your barber, so your barber's lining you up. So the man's got to be in front of your face. Where is your eyes? If your barber's in front of your face doing your edge up, where you looking?
No cap, I'm probably asleep, but
fucking child.
Okay, that might be worse. No. Going to sleep is worse. I don't give a fuck. No. I'm not going. Going to sleep is worse. Going to sleep is worse. Going to sleep is worse. I'm not going. I'm not going. I'm not going. Going to sleep is worse. Literally.
Omar, answer the question first. Where does your eye go when you are awake?
Not sleep. Yeah.
Oh, I'm trying to look away. Like, I'm like,
Thank you. Holy shit.
Hey, that's fine, but going to sleep is still worse. That's fine, but going to sleep is worse.
You know what Sage does? This motherfucker stares at the dude the whole time.
Straight eye contact the whole time he's doing his edge up. Eye contact.
Why?
You know what I can't stand?
Because if he fuck up, I want him to know. I want him to know.
You know what I can't stand when I'm getting my hair cut? They have to bring the chair all the fucking way to the bottom because I'm tall. And if it's a woman cutting your hair and she like leans over the front of your face like shit.
I ain't gonna lie.
Like, I gotta look away. I'm not looking right at your fucking chest.
I ain't gonna lie to you, Rusty.
What you about to say, Dom?
After Dom, I got confession too. Go ahead.
Ain't no woman cutting my hair, son. I ain't gonna hold you. Ain't no woman cutting my hair, bro. Sorry.
I've almost exclusively had my hair cut
unless she got a shortcut, unless her lineup is crisp, my guy, she can't come trying to cut my hair with a ponytail in, son. Not doing it. No, don't trust it. Can't do it. Call me what you want. Nah, bro. I can't. I don't trust it. You imagine? No, fuck out of here.
Bro, you gotta think, bro. Do you think a woman is gonna do you dirty, bro? You would think the dude wouldn't give a fuck about your shit. She ain't gonna do you dirty.
She gonna try, but doesn't mean she gonna do it right. You know?
I had a woman barber try to cut my hair.
The worst haircut of my life was done by a man, so that's all I know.
Son, the worst haircut of my life was was attempted by a woman. That motherfucker tried to tell me. She said, "Oh yeah, I cut my son's hair." Her sons happened to be in the barbershop and they recently got a haircut. And I looked at them and I knew I wasn't getting no goddamn haircut by their mother.
This shit's fucked up.
No. I was like, you know what?
Where your
I'll be
kids?
right back. And I just left. I said, fuck that shit.
Yeah,
got up, was like, I'll be back. Dipped. She watched me leave. Fuck out of here. I cut my goddamn hair.
Like a month and a half, 2 months ago, I got my hair cut by this guy because I have to get my hair cut once every 2 weeks because of how short it is. And I told him 0 on the side up to a 2.5 on the top, and he heard 0 on the side up to a 0.5 on the top.
No.
And he started taking the shit off the top. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he was like, "He said 0.5." I was like, "No, the fuck, I did not."
Fuck.
Yeah.
Decimals in your shit.
I knew Don was gonna ask.
The real question is, I know y'all probably already asked it, but how many times did y'all actually accidentally get a handful of nuts? Like when they were
never.
Oh, never. Oh, okay.
Ever.
What? Okay. All right.
Why is your hand?
What's the next topic? What's the next topic? Jesus fuck. Y'all. My day was great. My day has been great.
They literally give you armrests so you can put your.
No, but I'm saying
that motherfucker turning it. Yo, you're nasty.
Motherfucker, Omar in the chair.
Okay.
Get him a spit.
So what about knuckles? I
want to give him some encouragement.
Yeah, they're doing that where you sleep, apparently.
How many times have y'all knuckles grazed the nuts, though?
Nigga, my hands
what?
are
I don't keep track, bro.
My hands are turned on the corner of the fucking arm of the chair. Like there's
My-
no potential of grabbing
That's
anywhere.
My hands are in my lap, son. I don't.
Oh, my hands.
I'm officially second worst. I'm officially.
Oh, yeah, I
second
thought
worst.
Sage was
I'm
worse,
second
bro.
worst.
Oh.
I'm
Trying to rate
second
you.
worst.
This dude said asleep.
This motherfucker
How do
be
you- how do you
sleeping
fall
Sleep,
asleep?
and
sleep,
touching
and
nuts, bro.
He's trying to fuck his barber. Wait a minute.
Omar,
Wait a
this man
minute.
Omar be in a barber chair like these. Sleep with his fucking hands up.
And y'all barber experience is obviously not that like memorable. I don't know if y'all ever seen,
Memorable.
like,
It's not the
It's not supposed to be.
wow, bro.
It's just a
Wait,
haircut.
what is happening?
y'all must have never had like a real hair. Let me hold on. I'm gonna
Oh,
pull up a picture.
real haircut.
It's only a real
Oh my
haircut if you
God.
cup your barber's balls.
Oh my God.
That's a wild quote. Hey, quote that.
Oh my
That
God.
nigga
God.
said, y'all
That's
not
a
grabbing
quote.
nuts at the barbershop? Y'all ain't living right. What?
Sometimes I just think like, what is my family thinking when they hear me through the walls? And I just said that shit.
You got quote.
This is
My
me.
dad and
This
his
is,
lawyer watch
this
the
is
podcast.
me
They
at
know
a
what I'm talking
barbershop.
about.
Do y'all see the foam and everything like that?
Right.
Is
Yeah.
that
And they
fun?
got
Stop.
that's the foam, and they got the chair laid back, and they're playing like jazz music. My barbering experience is like phenomenal, bro.
Nigga, is your barber 62?
Is the
Yeah,
jazz
I don't-
music
I don't-
like
I
put
don't
you
get
in,
all the
does
foam
the
and
jazz
shit.
music like put you in the mood? That's why you're grabbing nuts.
He getting seduced by his
Hey,
barber.
if it's not y'all, I get it. Y'all don't have haircuts. You see what I'm saying? Y'all.
What
yeah,
do you mean?
Yeah, we don't have
Bro,
haircuts.
Y'all don't
That's
have
you
haircuts.
Atlanta niggas call a haircut?
Y'all don't have
Some of
haircuts.
the chat said ATL. Is this you?
I am
It's
never,
you.
I'm never getting my hair cut in Atlanta. Good
I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna
Niggas
cut
putting
before the
foam in your
flight and
face and
after.
balls in your hand. I don't want no Atlanta haircut, bro. I'm good.
That's wild, bro. That's wild. Anyways,
bro,
man. So we're
Hands
talking-
out, foam on. Let's ride. Bro.
Laying back seats, serenading
Oh.
you with jazz. What the fuck? Playing fucking
Hey,
smooth
yo.
jazz.
Hey yo. Oh no.
Omar, don't do that. Omar, don't.
Oh no.
Omar's wild.
Listen, man, we're trying to talk about Rusty and how he's been doing lately. So you talked about your deep dive series, how that's been busting your ass, and you've been getting writer's block. So how long did those videos take?
Well, it's probably going to be the longest one because this video is probably going to be an hour. It's talking about the dehumanization of athletes. It's going to break down how fans, media, the circumstances themselves, even the players themselves get dehumanized or dehumanized in some way or another. And there's multiple different systemic things that create that. So it's kind of it's an actual deep dive. Like there's a lot of fucking shit to talk about. So
That's a great
Taking a
great
while.
video idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I seen you talking
Ah,
about something like that
okay.
on Twitter.
yeah.
So for those
Okay.
videos, do you edit all of those videos, or you get
Yes, I
Mr.
edit all
Rudy?
of them, and I edit all of them, and then Rudy gets all the credit for the editing because they assume he edits all of my things. I'm like, I worked my ass off to edit this video. They're like, damn, Rudy killed it with this
Yes.
edit. And it's like, yeah, he sure fucking did.
You
That's
gotta put
crazy.
edited by in your videos now. That's crazy.
I might actually do that. Fuck it.
That's
Just gonna
wild.
title card edited by me, bitch.
Yeah, you can do that in like the first 5 seconds, bro. That'd be like a meme type shit.
But nah, I seen you talking about the dehumanization of athletes with the whole Tatum working out and Luke. What was the tweet? It was like while Jason Tatum was working out, Luke over there hookah and some shit like that.
Yeah.
I seen that. I was like, yo,
Luka Doncic.
Slicky Rusty's on to something.
Yo, shout out Hookah Doncic, man. Hey,
Like
Oh,
literally
God.
the human body can only work out what is it, like max 5 hours a day before it's literally damaging.
Mhm.
You can't spend all of your day in the gym. You literally physically cannot.
I'm glad you
So-
said that because that means Kobe's stories are completely capped.
Oh my god, here we go.
I don't think they're completely capped, but when he says I slept 4 hours a night in my prime or whatever, I'm like, that's bad for you. I don't care about mama mentality. That is physically not good for your well-being to sleep
It's
4
just
hours
not
a
good.
night.
I'm about to say, Omar, he had a lot of injuries. You acting like
Yeah,
He's
I mean
healthy as-
he's a cap artist too. He's cap. Yeah, Kobe's
He's
cap.
a cap artist.
oh,
I wouldn't
man.
go that far, but
I guess
definitely some of the times I hear his stories, I'm like, man, Kobe was crazy. He only slept 3 hours a night. I'm like, that's not inspirational. That's unhealthy.
Hey man.
Oh shit. Yo, Omar, do you want to lead the rest of the pod, or I can relay it to you. You see what I'm saying?
The money man can.
Go ahead, man.
If we're done with the segment about Rusty and his life update, I think
thought we were talking about me in California, but
yeah, talk about Rusty. Yeah, talk about Rusty.
Yeah, how was your trip to Cali, man? So I don't know if this was after your last appearance on here, but yeah, you had a wild night on Twitter, bro. Took some edibles.
No, we didn't.
That was after. Took some edibles. You see what I'm saying? Made some tweets.
Literally Hall of Fame tweets.
Hall of Fame tweets, bro.
Hall of Fame.
Shout out to dude for the sub, man. But
that was me and
dude.
my prime. That was me in my prime right there.
Shout out dude for saying shit. Shout out dude. I don't know how to say it. Bro, it's CSTOLTZ 405. How do you say that, bro?
All
right, he said, I'm calling you dude. I'm calling you dude, bro. I'm sorry. Shout out dude for the sub. I don't care, bro. Yo, but could you recap that night, man? Because I honestly forgot like the whole timeline of shit.
I was very high and I tweeted something to the effect of "Need me a girl with a dog collar," and then I followed that up with the dog collars for me, not her. And then this girl replied to it with a video of herself with a dog collar. So I was like, "Oh, that's interesting."
Word.
Slid in the DMs, and then 2 months later, I flew across the country to spend a week with her.
Oh wow!
So how was that trip?
How was that
trip? How did the week with the E-girl go?
Yeah. That's it. You gonna leave it at that?
I'm about to say, did you see about the collar?
No, I said this before. I'm not actually into a collar thing, but I'm into the type of woman who is into it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
was she into a lot of?
What do you mean by that?
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
I mean a dominant woman.
Shaq.
Okay.
Rusty like to get stepped on.
Whoa, wait, left turn. Yeah, Shaq. What?
She's
dominant. What can I say, bro?
One Shaq. Like, what the fuck?
Shout out Dominant for the gifted sub, man.
Yeah. So that was nice. Not to get too into it, but I've always wanted to not be the one who's in the position of the dominant one. So it's nice to experience that. It's a good time.
She tie you up?
A little bit.
Oh,
a little bit. It's a yes or no question. What the fuck?
Well, shit me.
It was just handcuffs, not tied up.
I'm about to say, once you tie up, then if you say
y'all wild and saying just. Oh man.
If we get into it, if you've never been in handcuffs, then I don't think a lot of people really have sex. We're here now. So let's
talk about it.
This is right here, bro.
I've experienced the handcuffs. I've experienced the blindfold.
Blindfold, yes.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like that's just like the tip of the iceberg too. But
listen, bro, I had a girl tie me to a column and put blindfolds on me. I was not feeling the blindfolds. I told her to keep me tied. I just didn't feel the blindfolds. I didn't like that.
Yeah, let me tell you why I love blindfolds. Blindfolds are great because a lot of the anticipation of what's going to happen will, like, with your eyes seeing what's coming, will make the experience worse. But if you can't tell what's going to happen, it makes the surprise of it part of the enjoyment.
She use ice?
Yes.
What?
Oh, not my.
No ice?
Oh,
y'all want to eat?
Are you talking about Rusty specifically?
I was talking to Rusty.
Ice?
I'm just asking
you
questions.
Talk about
Rusty,
you talking about former star Damo, man.
Let me tell
I'm about to say, don't go hard. That's
what I'm saying. Because I think like you were saying, like the anticipation, if you can see with your eyes, is bad, right? So if you're blindfolded, you don't know what's gonna happen next or whatever.
You don't know what she's gonna do to you.
So then, if you introduce the different feels, ice, like you feel the different textures, a little bit of heat, I think that's when you there. You about to start having some sex.
Bruh. I've never.
Shout out Twitch Sports, bro.
I feel like the wrong I feel like the wrong shorty tried to put me on the ice. Like, I ain't gonna lie, that shit shook the hell out. Like she tried to sneak that shit. She had it in her hand. I'm like, what the fuck you doing with your hand? She just out of nowhere came out the cover. I was like, whoa, like that shit did that. I ain't gonna lie, like y'all can call me ill or whatever. That shit spooked me. I was like,
But
what
part of the problem was that you could see.
What you doing?
Part of the problem was that you could see it though. Like
yeah, it spooked the shit out of me. I feel like the wrong shorty put me on ice.
I would recommend blindfold to anybody. I mean, not for both of you. That would be a real sloppy mess.
Let's play extreme charades.
Motherfuckers playing Twister, bro.
Charades max. Like what the
both fucking blindfold. One of them walks into a wall.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Said, babe,
But
where
yeah,
you at?
good.
Where you at?
Yeah.
It's here. Oh shit, you can't see.
Okay,
But
so
genuinely, like, not having the visual, like watching them go towards you to do something. If you remove that part of it, and it's just like, also, if she fucks with you, like doing slight touches and then backing away and shit like that, it's good. Good
no,
stuff.
you're a tease guy. Okay.
Oh,
You're a
100%.
teaser.
Hey.
Hey, me, Rusty, and Dom are gonna start a sex only podcast.
I'm about to say.
Hubcast.
I gotta keep it a bean.
I can't be on that, bro.
I gotta keep it a bean. The only reason I don't qualify is because I ain't been on that type of tip in a minute. Because I got trust issues, so I ain't gonna count. I ain't gonna count like until I know her, bro. Like until I know her for real,
bro. Yo, stop,
bruh. So shut up. So until I know her for real, bro. No, I got a motherfucking Ziploc for you, bitch. But like once I get to know her for real, all right. But
it's definitely just sex in general is significantly more enjoyable if you're with a person that you're comfortable with.
That's also true.
Yeah.
But my friend has quite literally called me and said, bro, I don't know how to tell you this, but it's when I turned 20, he said, bro, you are. I'm not saying you the cutest nigga in the world, but you look too good to not be fucking random bitches. And I said,
no, it don't work. Personally, it don't.
I guess
I want to hear from
I said,
First
I
of
guess.
all, that's not. He shouldn't have approached it like that.
He said, bro, you looking cute.
He just did it like that. I swear to God, he called me. He was like, yo, how you doing? I said, I'm good, bro. What's up? He said, fool. I just gotta tell you this straight up, bro.
He called you randomly. He called you randomly,
bro. Because it was a okay. All right, let me not do him dirty. Let me not do him dirty. Let me not do him dirty. We was talking about bitches in the group chat or whatever, and I was just like, fool, I ain't gonna lie, I don't be doing this, that, and the third. Like they was talking about one night stand. Like I was like, I don't be doing all that.
He had enough conviction to call you.
But he like saw my response. He saw my response and he said, fool, I gotta keep it a bean with you.
He called you with conviction.
Bro,
this was weighing heavy on his heart.
He felt so bad about what I said. He was like, fool, I gotta keep it. Like he's not a concern. Now I think about it. He was like, I gotta keep it a bean with you. You supposed to be fucking random bitches. I'm like, okay. He's like, nah, man.
I've done a hookup before. It's not enjoyable to me.
Right. I'm not that kind of guy. I ain't gonna lie.
I also just get anxiety about it where I'm like, I don't want to fuck this up and I don't know you. So I don't know if I'm doing this right or not.
I'm not that type of guy no more.
Omar frozen.
I'm about to say I still have to do it because I have needs, but like I don't be it's not my
and he's gone.
It's not my true desire. Like put it this way, Dom. I'm 100% the dude that try to look for a shorty, get down with her, and then wild out them rather than just like,
man, if I can't be little spoon after, I don't want it.
Can't be little spoon. Hey man, look, being little spoon is so underrated. Bro,
it's so much better.
I love being little
spoon.
It
is, bro.
It's underrated. It's underrated.
It's so funny.
It makes you feel
chilling.
Safe.
Yeah.
It's underrated like shit.
It's hard wanting to be little spoon when you the size of fucking Vince Wilfork. That's kind of
see, I have that problem. I don't give a damn because she was 5'2" and I'm 6'3", so there's a foot of height difference there. But I was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm little spoon.
Them like I ain't gonna bullshit. Like when you the little spoon and you get to sleep on that motherfucker, that shit feels good. I ain't gonna lie.
Put your head on her chest.
I ain't gonna lie. That shit is max, bro. That's the best.
But then they get mad at you when you want it like more consistently.
I don't get it. I woke up. I said, "Slim, I ain't sleep that good for a minute." Gassing her shit up. I said, "I don't give a fuck, man." Like, look,
my problem in terms of sleeping is that I toss and turn. So like, I actually I almost decked her in my sleep on accident with my elbow. Like I literally woke up mid as I was doing this. I was like, I almost hit you in the fucking face with my elbow. Like as I was asleep.
Yo, before I made the move to Indiana, sleep with my girl, fiance, dead ass, no remorse, straight John Jones, 12-6. On accident, just straight sleep, just bink, straight to the back of the dome. I'm sorry, you gonna throw it? I'm just telling a story. Damn.
Mine was almost right in her.
She threw something at me.
Mine was almost right in their fucking face. That would have been the worst.
Call her right in the back of the noggin, nigga. Just straight.
I would have been apologizing for like 5 hours straight.
So wait, are any of you one of those people that like just jolt wake up? Like I don't know how to describe it because I've seen some people do it like when they wake up, like when they wake up. So like you woke up, bro, so you never seen it, bro. I'm not. No. See, you're jumping the gun. That's not me. I used to work at a daycare, and like I've seen a couple kids. The way they wake up, they literally. Whoa! So I was like, wait, y'all, this bitch really giving 12 to 6 shot. Like you woke up down, bink.
First of all, I just turn really aggressively, like it's fast.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all that happened. Okay. It was a one-time thing. I was just mad tired, and I just turned, and she happened to be way lower than she used. That's the problem with my girl being a little spoon. And you gonna throw something else at me? Anyway, she was way lower than I remembered her being when we went to sleep. So when I just turned, I just in the back of the head. But shit. Sage, what you're describing is children having a falling dream. And that's when they fall in. I ain't gonna lie. That's why I don't fall asleep in fucking barbershop chairs no more. I was like 10 or 11.
How do you guys fall asleep?
I'm about to say
I can't. That, like, it's normal.
I'll admit this. My eyes do like feel some way, but I'd be like, I'm not going to sleep.
Fuck that. When I was a kid, I used to stay going to sleep in the barbershop.
Yeah.
Until nigga, I'm asleep one day, and nigga, I had one of them dreams where you just falling, and then I just hella quick, and I didn't get my shit fucked up. But it's the fact that nigga had the clippers like right here when I did it.
W Barber.
Everybody looking at me like
W Barber.
I do jolt awake as I'm starting to fall asleep when I'm not supposed to. Like I know I'm not supposed to sleep, but I start falling asleep.
All the time.
Yeah,
all the time.
Doing that in school is fucking embarrassing if they catch you.
my professor tried to put me on her phone one time. Like I woke up and I saw the flash. I said, come on, man. And she was like, stop going to sleep in my class. I said, shit, you're going.
Like in fucking like I don't think it's talked about enough how almost all of us were fucking sleep deprived all through high school, and I think most of middle school too. Mm-hmm. Like I was functioning on 4 hours of sleep during the week in high school,
bro, because we had to wake up at like 6 a.m. and then like our sleep cycles naturally during that time or later, so we're sleeping like 11, 12. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah, and God knows like the amount of brain damage that probably does to people collectively, like probably to a significant degree that drastically affects society, that people are getting like 4 hours of sleep a night. A lot of young kids are, because especially that's when your brain's developing the most.
Right. Shout out back to school.
That's probably why a lot of people,
you guys getting fucked up.
That's probably why a lot of people in our age group be so fucking dumb. Niggas used to waking up hella early. Half the fucking females eating Takis and Cheetos at fucking 6:30 in the morning.
You know what? That's crazy that you bring that up, bro. Yeah, when everyone's chilling before the first bell, motherfuckers eating Takis this early in the morning is wild.
Man,
what the hell?
Man, I started the best ninth grade rumor of all time around my school because it was damn facts too. I said, every thought that wake up and eat hot Cheetos before 8:30, she's a whore. And they got so mad because I was a shy kid in ninth grade. And so when I said that shit to my friend, but I was loud on accident, everybody looking like, damn. And one girl literally was eating hot Cheetos, and she go, nah, fuck this nigga, he ugly as shit, But then over time, it became a thing, and niggas are selling snacks, and all the hot Cheetos stayed until 10. I was like, y'all some hoes. Y'all know y'all want them Cheetos. Go get that shit. It's $2 in the morning. Go get that shit. I know you want it. I know you want a little bitch. That shit, man. Hot Cheetos.
That used to drive me crazy, bro. Especially my like junior, senior year, because we would legit get to school. I get to school probably like 6:20, 6:45, because first bell ain't till like 7:20 or whatever. My dad had to be to work early. And it was at that time before the sun even came the fuck up half the time. So it's still dark out and you getting and bitches is at the table smacking top. I'm like, bitch, you just got here. Like, you just brushed your teeth. You gotta go through the whole day with Taki breath and red fingers.
But just eating Takis at 7 a.m. 6 a.m. is disgusting.
Second period, the tongue red as hell. You look like a demon whore. Like you look like an evil ass thought. I'm like, all right, well.
And I'm like, on top of that, you bitches is sitting here with the fire booty all day because y'all not shitting in the goddamn bathroom during school. So y'all sitting here with the fire butt all day. Like, bitch, that is not healthy. Like, and I'm talking like not a little bag, hit the big bags. And them shits is gone before.
Oh, it's not even snack size. You talking about?
Oh, yeah. Nah. The little ones, they okay.
They're gone before lunch. I'm like, bitch, you're sitting here after a big ass bag of Takis at 7 in the morning. It's 7 in the morning. Bitch, you eat a family bag.
The guy side of this is downing fucking like 4 energy drinks. That was very prevalent.
Nah, the guy side, at least from my school, any nigga that took them little small waffles in a little syrup cup and grabbed the waffle hole and dipped that shit in, all right, he needs to get locked up. He needs to get locked up. That happens so much.
That is not someone that can function in society.
I swear on my life. Like, if there was a Bible, I've seen people take them small mini blueberry waffles, fold them in half, and just raw dunk them into syrup and eat the thing whole. And I'm just like, that ain't how that's supposed to happen. Like, that's not how it was designed. They don't care.
There's someone that I heard that this isn't my school, but their school had like these giant fucking cookies that were like 1,000 calories each.
That's wild.
And there would be competitions to see who could eat the most in one sitting, and people would consistently eat like 5 or 6 of them in one sitting.
That's literally like 2.5 days
calories in a meal.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, that's
terrible.
Them
niggas are mukbangers now. Them niggas do mukbangs.
What's up, guys?
Mukbangs are like the most, like, if you want to like torture me, just put a fucking mukbang on in front of me while I'm like tied to a chair. It's the worst thing you can do to me.
I mean, most of the time they're talking about something else other than just eating, though.
But it's the sound.
It's so
stupid. Of people eating trigger the fuck out of me. So
nigga,
like, don't do that around.
Fuck the sound.
That is my pet peeve, bro. I absolutely hate hearing niggas smack and chew, and
it's not even just smacking.
Oh, that shit pisses
literally,
me off.
even if you chew with your mouth closed, if I'm like eating with other people, there has to be music in the background or someone has to be talking, because if it's just silently chewing, I'll lose my shit. Because even just the sound of you chewing respectfully pisses me off.
I can't stand that shit.
I can't stand looking at it.
The ASMR motherfuckers that have the mics that's so crisp and you hear every crunch, and I'm like, yo, bitch, I'll kick you in your face. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it, bro.
All right. Anyways,
wild.
Twitch sports. We still talking about sports. We still talking about sports.
Kobe's great.
Kobe's great.
Tim Duncan fundamental. Stockton sucks.
Yeah. Okay. That ass. Okay, so let's get into a little bit of basketball talk.
Quota.
Today, we can get into the Kyrie Steph thing in a little bit too, but today
we can save everybody's time.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I know you're not trying to go into it. I haven't seen.
You got a good timeline.
Yeah, we can do that first. So essentially, the last 3 days.
On it because easy views.
Hey,
I might just cop if y'all educate me. I might just cap and act like I seen it.
So the last 3 days, Twitter has been going crazy because they want to test Steph Curry again for some reason.
All the time.
I think it was Mike James. Mike James responded to someone talking about Steph Curry and Kyrie Irving and like the skill difference.
Steph and Devin Booker. I don't know how Kyrie Irving became a conversation because
if you want to explain, like I'm a little iffy on the timeline, but
I haven't heard the discussion post, but this Mike James thing specifically, he said something like, "What makes Steph more skilled than Devin Booker?" So that's not the one I've seen. So I don't know how it became Kyrie Irving. That's what I saw from Mike James.
So what I've seen from Mike James that started with Kyrie Irving and then got Steph pulled into it was somebody posted the 4 most influential scorers of all time. Yeah. And it was Kobe, Bron, Jordan, and
Kareem, maybe?
It wasn't Kareem. It was...
If it's influential, who the fuck else is doing sky hooks?
Facts. I think it was Curry. I think Curry was up there. I will have to see the tweet, but I know
it's just influential.
Man, we could just look this up, bro.
Yeah, look it up.
But I know kids for a pulling fact up from half court in high school now?
No, it was Bron, MJ, Kobe, Steph. And then what Mike James had said at first, because I know I replied, I was like, "Oh, this nigga just."
It was KD.
I was like, translation.
It was KD.
It was KD. Was it KD?
It was LeBron, Jordan, KD. Kobe, KD. And then Mike James quote retweeted that by saying, "I can't lie to y'all. Kyrie Irving probably deserves to be on this list. And James Harden got an argument too." And I think that spurred it off that whole conversation about Steph Curry and Kyrie. So essentially, Twitter, quote retweeted that. Yeah, Twitter started twittering, and they were talking about how Kyrie's actually more skilled than Steph, and like the other side saying Steph's actually more skilled than Kyrie. And I'm just sitting here like, bro, who the fuck cares? Who's better? Exactly. Who's better, bro?
I 100% saw a tweet from Mike James that said that Devin Booker is more skilled than Steph. So just putting that out there.
That's so stupid.
He just wants one of his jobs back. That's all that.
Yeah, Mike I don't James understand how you're an NBA player, like doing weird like NBA Twitter stan culture.
Well, it's not even stan culture. He was the first team he was on was the Suns with Devin Booker, and then after that it was the fucking Nets. So he just wants a job back. That's all it is. He just like that's what I was like. I was like, translation. He just wants to be back on the team.
I'm pretty sure he got re-signed by the Nets. Did he not?
I'm not sure. I mean, it would make sense why he's riding.
I'm pretty sure he did too.
Kyrie and James Harden. It'll make sense.
But yeah, that whole argument just it doesn't make sense. Like it makes sense, but I just don't see the reason behind it. Like who cares? Like for example, in the early 2000s, like Allen Iverson is more skilled than Shaq. But like who the fuck cares? Shaq's better. Like I don't know what to tell you. Shaq's better.
It's the Hooper versus basketball player discussion again.
And Ball Don't Stop was in those conversations, man. He talking about, man, Mike James don't have time to analyze this, but I do. I do. And then he analyzed.
I can't stand Ball Don't Stop.
Ball Don't Stop is annoying, right?
What I hate, what pisses me off about him is that it's the delivery of like, I know what I'm talking about and you're a casual, while saying the dumbest thing I've ever heard. So it's like, it's not the fact that he's saying stupid things, that he's saying it and then saying if you disagree, you're a casual. I think in general, that mindset is very fucking annoying. Like just because someone disagrees with your basketball opinion does not mean they're automatically a casual. They just have a different point of view than you.
Yeah, no, but to me, like if the lack of skill is damaging your ability to put up consistent numbers consistently, then that's a problem. But if this lack of skill you're talking about is still getting you fucking 28, 30 points a game on 60% shooting, I don't care, bro. Like, go ahead. I guess he's not skilled, but...
Man, fuck this shit, bro. Curry's more skilled any fucking way. I've never understood. I've never understood to say I go there with these dumbasses. Like I've never understood take anyway. If Kyrie dribbles better, finishes better, cool, whatever. Curry shoots that much better. What is happening? Like what is happening? And Curry's handles is right there with him. His finishing is right there with him. His Curry handles is underrated. I go there with you all day.
No,
I go there with you all day.
They're underrated.
I go there with you all day.
It's not, but Kyrie
it's
is
not on.
Kyrie got it. Kyrie got it. Ain't nobody saying Kyrie don't got it, but it's like if Kyrie is 1, Steph is like 1C, 1B, whatever. Like it ain't far. Steph uses handles for different reasons, and his bag's underrated. I go there with you if you want me to drop it that low. I ain't dropping Curry's handles that low. And he shoots that much better though. Point is either way, he shoots that much. Like Kyrie can shoot. Yeah. He don't shoot like Steph, bro. At all. Not even close. Not even close.
I don't know why Steph Curry isn't mentioned in like the GOAT scorers conversation more.
He's the most underrated all-timer.
Because he has had 2 seasons now averaging 30 plus on 10% higher than league average true shooting. That's insanity. Like those are 2 of the most efficient scoring titles ever.
And he's not taking easy shots.
No,
you know, he's not taking easy shots. So
like people
pulling up from 45.
Like, even if he's just a shooter, which we all know he's not, but even if he was, who gives a fuck if he
like,
averages 30 points on plus 10% true shooting than league average?
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. That's
and what was crazy
and efficiency is through the roof.
I think in 2017 I brought up like in a video I was talking about how like Steph Curry arguably is the best scorer in the game right now, and motherfuckers was getting at me because you know KD's giving you fucking 25 on like more versatility, and like LeBron's up there too.
Something about KD.
Is he though?
Can I say
That's
something
what I'm
about
saying.
KD?
You could easily argue Curry over KD.
This is the reason why I think Michael Jordan is the greatest scorer of all time. Not Kevin Durant.
Look at that.
Not Kevin Durant. Just because Kevin Durant can score in more ways doesn't mean he's better if Jordan averages a higher point per game on a similar level of efficiency.
Right. And on that same token, I think LeBron and KD being like their all-time ranking scoring wise is closer than a lot of people give them credit for. Because when we're talking about
like
pure production, they're up there.
Peak Shaq is one of the greatest scorers of all time. Just because he doesn't have a tween hezzy splash doesn't mean he's not incredible at producing an insane volume of points on insane efficiency. Who cares how you do it?
Yeah.
Man, y'all just reminded me I need to record my video where I'm gonna talk about how on a random Sunday it's just slandering a prime player's ability or whatever. It happens to players today. Damn well happens to legends, but it happens to Curry so much. And maybe it's my bias that I like Curry and Kobe, but those it's always those 2. It's always Curry and Kobe. And I'm like,
those are my 2 favorite players.
Those are like my 2 favorite players of all time. What the fuck? So it sounds like I'm just being the guy that says all his favorite players are underrated or over. But no, it's legit always Curry and Kobe. It makes no sense to me. So
I'll say in general, the over. I'll let you go after this, Damo. But the like constantly bringing up debates when like nothing's going on, I kind of can't get mad at it because it gives me content. So I can't even complain.
Injuries, time, and boredom for sure. Time, and boredom for sure.
Go ahead, Damo.
What I feel like it is, especially not so much with Curry, I feel like it's just pure hate with Curry because Curry, it's like, what if you would have gave Twitter to motherfuckers in the 90s? They're gonna find any reason to hate Michael Jordan because he's shitting on their favorite team.
That's true.
Like no one's winning but Jordan. But with Kobe, what I've come to notice, especially on fucking places like Shit Room and like Twitter, these Twitter spaces, it's a lot of fucking like
shit.
It's a lot of teenagers.
Go ahead.
Okay, it's a lot of teenagers and motherfuckers who started watching basketball at like 2013, 2014, 2012, who didn't watch Kobe for real. But because they still have advanced stats that track when Kobe played, they look at these stats and they see the inefficiencies and they see the drawbacks and shit like that, and they be like, oh man, Kobe couldn't have been that nice. They see Kobe has the most misses all time. Oh man, Kobe, and they just slander him. I literally had arguments with people who never literally had all these opinions on Kobe based off a Dev in the Lab video. And I wish Omar was here because we were both there. We were both there like, bro, what the? You sat here and gave us all this bullshit ass takes about Kobe, and you didn't even watch him. All you did was watch a Dev in the Lab video and base your opinion off his opinion on what he told you Kobe was.
I'm not cutting you off for real. Is it that one video that's talking about his off-ball defense or something?
I don't watch Dev in the Lab like
bro,
that.
I don't watch Dev. No, I don't watch Dev in the Lab either. But I'm shout out Dev in the Lab. I ain't gonna
Dev in the Lab to go.
But I don't watch him. So there's a video talking about Kobe as a scorer, and then there's a video about Kobe's off-ball defense or something. And I kid you not, on Green Room, funny enough, it was a whole thing where people were just talking about these takes, and I was like, wait a minute, I've heard all of this before. I was like, wait a minute, like literally none of this is original. What the fuck? And somebody came into my chat and literally said, oh, so you watched that video too? I said, bro, no, you didn't come in this junk and just reiterate a YouTube video trying to sound like a genius, bro. You're like, and so then I come up there and I'm like, what made you start watching Kobe? And he's like, I only seen Kobe in like 2012, an underrated season though. I said, bro, like it's not even like it's a great season, but it's not even like in his top 3, bro. Like I promise you. And it's sad. It's sad. I mean, like I say, injuries, time, and boredom will do it to him. And that's why I dropped a video, not to ramble on too long, about like all-time players being stupid too, like doing the all-time shit stupid.
Oh, I seen that.
Because like when you really think about it, bro, it's kids telling you how good 70s players were. It's kind of cringe.
I ain't gonna lie, that stream, I was just trying to do it for fun. That stream became way more heated.
Because it's so dumb. It's so dumb. It's like I'm about to. It's like me, B-Souls, Omar. We already into it in the chat. Not, like already into it on the chat. Whatever. Cool. We look at chat. Man, these guys don't know. This nigga is either 16, 15, or 14. Fool, what the fuck do you know? What you tell me? And that's why I'm like, fool, I understand why old heads be so tight when we have certain takes that throw them off too. Because now I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, if a motherfucker from 40, 50 years ago is talking about, oh yeah, Walt Frazier was cold, and I'm like, nah, he was a bum, and I ain't seen shit from him, I'd be pissed too. Like, it's like, this is what happened with Kobe, to a lesser degree, because he wasn't all that for real, but to a lesser degree, Carmelo. It's happened with a lot of those 2000s guys, and I guarantee you this, by 2040,
same shit's gonna happen
by 2040, if you're not shooting 45% from 3, you're a bum.
Which is crazy.
So, it's gonna be so crazy.
This is a point I wanted to make. The game is like produces crazy stats more frequently today than it did in the past because of pace and space, and that is like completely left out of the equation in these conversations. Where like a game that ends 93-91 was the standard in the 90s and the early 2000s, and then now it's not nearly the same. Like I think even like guys who are putting up crazy, like there's an insane stat line almost every day when in the NBA regular season. There's almost always one stat line. It's like, damn,
this is all-time level.
That would be an all-time stat line like in 2010, 2000.
Yeah, but like at this point, it's like inflation. Like it's not worth what it was then. You know what I mean? Like averaging 20 points per game. Fucking Malik Beasley averaged 20 points per game last season. And it's not the same achievement that it was in the 2000s. Like in the 2000s, early 2000s and 90s, there are like 10, 15 players who are capable of averaging 20. I believe last year it was approaching 30 who averaged 20. Like it's not the same thing that it was.
What I will say is, though, I know Dom brought up like these motherfuckers started watching Kobe in 2012, 2013. I don't want to go that route because like I feel like you can learn about these players with due research. You can.
That's what I said too.
It's just these motherfuckers just don't. They just look at the wrong things. They interpret shit the wrong way. I don't want to take that route. But
the only full season of Kobe that I watched at his peak, that is, was 2012, 2013. But then because I watched his highlights and mixes and fucking the inspirational videos with him that were so prevalent in like 2009 to 2013 or whatever. I'd watch those all the time. So that's why Kobe's my favorite player, because that's how I like got into basketball, was just through the lens of Kobe. But like I have watched probably 100+ games of Kobe outside of what I witnessed in that one season. Like, because specifically when it's players that I'm interested in all-time talents, I'll watch their games all the time. Like anything that's 80s forward, I'm confident I know enough in. If you ask me about Walt Frazier, I'll be real.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I
can't really tell you much about. I've probably watched a few hours of Walt Frazier max.
And why can't people be honest about it, right?
I watched probably 45 seconds of Walt Frazier. I ain't gonna lie to you.
That's how I am about college basketball, or like prospect talk. Like I initially tried to talk about it without knowing shit, and that has led to some all-time terrible takes.
You got one, yeah.
Well, I also said RJ Barrett over Zion, and then that was like the last one I ever did.
Man.
But it's because I literally didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. And then I was just like, I watched like 4 college games a season max, then I watched some highlight videos on YouTube. Why am I talking about this? So then I don't comment on prospects. I will literally only say, I have heard people say this about this prospect. There you go. That's all I know.
But I think when it comes to the all-time thing, like if you're gonna make an all-time list, you can't just leave out these players from the 60s and 70s. Like you're making a list that's spanning all of time. Like I don't.
Yeah, I can't.
This dude right here.
Shit.
You can.
Yeah, you can, bro.
You gotta know. You
have to at least put them into consideration. That's all I'm saying.
No, you don't. If you're doing
then you're not making an all-time list. Then you're not making an all-time list.
Wait, all-time list or all-time draft? I'm sorry.
All-time list.
All-time list. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you said if you're doing like an all-time draft, you got to include. I'm like, no, you don't.
I do know. I've watched a lot of. Well, there's actually not as much as you'd like. I've watched a good amount of Wilt and Bill Russell footage. There's not very much of it. And then
not at all.
A lot of Kareem. So I think I can comment on them, but like I can't comment on the league overall for the 70s and 60s. I can tell you things about Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain and Kareem, but that's it.
You damn near quoted me verbatim. Like that's what I'm saying. Yeah. If someone puts you in a room, I said this, and I'll say it again. If a random stranger just say, "Hey, $20 million, give me 5 Knicks rosters before the 90s, name them fully." Nobody's paid.
Well,
give me
but they can't, and they gotta be 3 have to be in different decades. 3 have to be in different decades.
I think the whole roster is maybe a little bit of a push, just because I don't know the 14th man on the 90s.
Hey.
Starting lineup. You say starting line.
You tell me starting 5s.
Even with
the team.
Even with starting 5s, you got a chance. But if someone said name 8, all right, let's be fair. If whole roster is too much, name 8 players. Name 8 players. You have to go 3 different decades, but they all have to be before the 80s. Still nobody
on the Knicks. Oh Jesus,
still nobody.
Dave DeBusschere. What the
facts? Like,
still nobody paid. So it's like it's stupid, bro. And
I didn't know I came in on a segregation basketball talk.
It funny enough, it started with Kobe. Funny enough,
it started with Kyrie and Steph. That the whole.
Oh yeah, my bad, Kyrie and Steph. You're right.
Do you guys know why Bill Russell ended up being on the Celtics? Speaking of the segregation basketball thing. The Atlanta Hawks just didn't want to draft him. They just didn't want to draft a black player. The Hawks had all white players, so they didn't draft him.
And you think we want to? You think we want to?
So they pass up on one of the greatest players of all time because they're racist. So that's what you get. There's your L for that.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they didn't give a fuck back then. Like they didn't care.
Yeah, they were like, okay, we're losing basketball.
As long as their whole team
actually
celebrate
pretty sure they were
same goddamn locker room, they were happy.
He said we win together.
Also,
we lose
back
together.
then they had like regional. I don't remember what they were called. They're like regional picks, where like if a player played in college near your team, you could get the opportunity to pick them before anyone else.
Yeah.
If someone played at Boston College, the Celtics would have the first pick to draft that guy, even if they're the best team in the league.
I think it was even it was either college or high school, but I think it was not the right. I think you couldn't. Like if you played 100 miles close to like the Boston Celtics, you had to play for the Celtics. And I think that's how Oscar Robertson ended up on the team that he ended up on and everything like that. I don't know if did you just hear that from the Knuckleheads or you did that research?
No, it was like, I mean, you don't have they would get they would get the chance to pick them before anybody else. If they don't want the player, they can say, I don't want.
Oh, yeah.
If they want the player that's like a college player nearby who I think there was one year where I don't remember the name, some white dude who would have been the number 1 pick. Of course. But they were like, the Celtics were like, nope, he played near us. We want him.
Yeah.
So they were the best team in the league, but they're like, we get the number 1 pick in the draft because he played nearby.
Why are we talking about an era of basketball from them? But y'all were talking about Kyrie and Steph and who's better, right? I'm assuming the Twitter conversation.
Yeah, that whole like skill thing.
Twitter conversation. We weren't talking about who was better.
It's Kyrie.
That's obvious.
It's Kyrie.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, right. Totally.
Let's do right here. Yeah, you first again.
He's just trying to be controversial, and we're past that. No, what we really were talking about is, remember that day on Shit Room when that dude tried to quote the Devin Lab video about Kobe does, and we're like, after having a whole fucking argument for like 30 minutes about him, he ends it with, yeah, man, I ain't watched Kobe, but I seen that Devin Lab video breaking down his game because he tried to. What did he say? He was like, Kobe, like no one could make shots.
No one could make the tough shot. But see, and so this is what, and I don't know, Damo might have said it already. I'm back up to speed now, but Damo might have said it already. I think we can all agree that when we first started watching basketball, we did not have the same level of harshness of opinions as these kids do.
Not at all.
Like this generation just has the harshest opinions. And then you ask them, well, how long ago? Look at Rusty. He's like, well, maybe me. But if you ask them, like, okay, well, how long have you been watching basketball for you to have an opinion on 1982 NBA basketball? Oh, I started watching in 2015, and I'm like, come on, bro. Like, I think. Or I think it could be 2017.
I think it could be a case by case basis because I think I knew most of what was to know about the 80s and 90s basketball by the time I was like in my 3rd or 4th year.
But nobody does the research you do.
Just because I was like addicted to the knowledge of the game, and I was barely passing in high school when I was spending all my time researching fucking NBA history. But yeah, that's definitely true. And for that case about like being more aggressive about it, I was just a fucking asshole when I was younger, so that probably helped. And especially if you watch my really old videos from like 4 to 3 years ago, my takes were like so much more aggressive and like fuck your feelings if you disagree with me. And now I'm so adamantly like I'm almost always saying
you're brand friendly. You're brand friendly.
Well, I don't know about brand friendly.
Brand
I'm definitely still cursing in my videos all the time. It's just I don't have a level of conviction about my opinions because I know of my capacity to be wrong far more than I appreciated it back then.
But my question would be this: the research you did, you went back and did that research yourself, right? Like you went back, you looked at the stats, you looked at the film, you looked at the games, all that. The problem is a lot of these teenagers are coming on, like they're getting on these platforms and they're literally basing their argument on Walt Frazier because B-Souls dropped the video and they started watching basketball in 2016 saying,
look, can I say this? Can I say this one thing in defense of them? Because a lot of these people are literally children. The first hot take I had when I was 13 was the Heat should start Ray Allen over Dwayne Wade because Ray Allen's a better shooter. That's the first thing that I thought when I was a dumbass kid who was just exposed to the game.
And where'd you get that from?
Huh?
Where'd you get that from?
I got that from
Stephen
myself.
See, but that's the difference. But that's the thing. You got that from yourself. Like with us, like people in our age bracket, the outside of probably my Kobe LeBron fucking takes when I was real little because I was influenced by adults. Other than that, a lot of the takes we had, I would hope, was based off what we seen from the game, what we looked up, what we researched. My thing is the kids today are making these claims because they watched a Rusty video 4 years ago where he was like, fuck your feelings. Hey man, Walt Frazier's mutton chops wasn't shit. And now they're just like, yeah, Walt Frazier's mutton chops wasn't shit.
Because what I think Damos, because when we were in that room the other day, the kid was literally like, man, when I tell you like Kobe, especially in that era, and he's saying in that era as if it, and I feel old, I guess. It wasn't, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it wasn't like 8 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever. He was like, but he was even talking about like the mid 2000s. Like in that era, no one was taking hard shots like that. And so I was like, well, what do you mean by hard shots? He was like, I mean, he was doing turnaround fadeaways, and nobody was doing. And I was like, I don't think you watch like. You didn't watch that.
Not to his degree, not to Kobe's degree.
Yeah,
but
I'm a Kobe. I'm a Kobe fanatic, but that's not
shots,
true. That nigga Carmelo Anthony had a career off of doing.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you the one that killed. What he was saying this shit, and I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, this nigga just doesn't know. He's like, yeah, no one took hard shots like Kobe. I'm like, Larry Bird. He was like, huh? I was like, there's not one shot. Kobe hasn't taken one shot. Larry Bird has not either taken or could take.
Exactly.
And then somebody said, it wasn't him. He said it after somebody else said it. He was like, somebody was like, Larry never hit a shot behind the backboard. I'm like, are you fucking stupid?
Yeah.
That's literally one of his like marquee highlights.
One of the probably a top 10 highlight of Larry Bird's career.
And I'm like, bro, you don't even have to do research. You just need to look up NBA mix and you would see that.
That has like 8 million views.
And that's why I love
I don't think there is a single Larry Bird mix that doesn't have that fadeaway over the backboard in it. I don't think there's a single one.
But literally when I was making a Bird like esque video, that clip showed up so much I had to edit it out twice. I was like, all right, Bird, come on. All right, all of these niggas.
They don't need to see this again.
They don't need to see it again. Like, holy hell.
But that's the problem because then he goes on to exactly quote like, well, you know, I just heard like Dev. So then we asked him like,
okay, well, how much Kobe did you truly like see? And he was like, well, I'm X years old, so I only really I think he's seen the last like 3 Kobe seasons or whatever.
Which are when he was not good.
Which is when he's not good. But then he was like, so I was like, okay, so where'd you get this from that like nobody else was taking? He's like, well, Dev the Lab just kept emphasizing on how hard shots he was taking. And I was like, well, see, that's your problem. Like, you're not even watching it. But even then, you still wouldn't even understand if you watched it because you don't even know the landscape of the league of the early 2000s. That was the inefficient shot chucking era. Everyone was taking them shots that Kobe was taking.
Thank you.
Yeah. Some people was making them. It was just about as efficient as Kobe was, to be honest with you. It was all bad. It was dumbass shots. Yeah. But I think that's the problem that I have with like the kids critiquing basketball, and even me to some degree, because I say what I say about old basketball, but to be honest with you, I really don't care about it. Right. Not enough to make a hot take, but they just feel like they have this understanding of what the landscape of the league is. There's 2 more that I heard that were crazy. Comparing somebody in like the 70s, the early 70s, late 60s to somebody today, and they were like, well, see, the player today has a better 3-point percentage. And I was like, there has to be a reason why, right? Like, you don't like think about it.
We don't think about why.
So then he was like, yeah, I mean, this guy back here, he sucks. He doesn't even have anything in the box for 3-point percentage. And I was like, there's gotta be like,
come on, you're getting there.
So let me ask you this to play devil's advocate. What do you say to the teenager who obviously didn't watch these players, but actually did watch the games and still have these takes that you disagree with?
What do you mean still watch the game?
That's an exception.
Like we talk, like, okay, I'm gonna just say, like, Eli says that he watches a lot of film from back in the day.
That's the other one that I was finna go.
Half of the time that nigga cap, we talking about him specifically.
Capping like a motherfucker.
Half of the time he's cap, but then
let me lay the landscape, especially for like Rusty. So we did the top 50 video, the next in, and the debate was about Dominique Wilkins. And one of the points that somebody in our chat was bringing up is that Dominique Wilkins can't be better than X player, and one of the reasons why is because he lacks playmaking.
It's Gary Payton. Gary Payton.
And my thing was, one, even if you watch 7 games, because he goes on to admit in a green room, I watched 7 games about of Dominique Wilkins, Dom Wilkins. I watched 7 games of him. In the totality of his career, what does that mean? And at the same time, does that mean you truly understand the landscape of the league? And that's what I don't understand about that. I just don't. You won't understand the landscape of the league, because then I would also say that's the same point. I hear them have the same argument about Jason Kidd. They say Jason Kidd, oh, he wasn't a shooter. He couldn't shoot. If you understood the landscape of the league, like that wasn't his role. Like that wasn't what he did. That wasn't what he. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Let me say 2 things about all of this. And if everyone had this approach, I think basketball discourse would be a lot less frustrating. 1, don't borrow other people's opinions. You can use them to supplement your own opinion or to get an idea of what other people think. But don't be like, I watched this video, this is what I believe. That's one thing that frustrates me, and a lot of the reason NBA YouTube can get a bad rap is so many fucking people borrow opinions, and then you're responsible for them talking like a jackass. And then 2, you should approach all of this stuff like basketball is not binary enough that you should approach it with 100% confidence with almost anything that you say.
Yep.
Because there is room to be wrong with all of it, because all of us have different perspectives. All of us see things differently. You don't have to immediately say if someone sees something differently that they just aren't watching, because no, they just have a different perspective on it. And admit when you're wrong, and don't talk about shit that you don't know about.
That shit, I mean, I couldn't have said
that last part is just hard for some people.
I couldn't have said it any better. I mean, holy fuck. Like,
I just don't want to hear the people say that, like, Trevor, in a couple of years, Trevor Ariza wasn't a good playmaker. Like, Trevor Ariza, he was never asked to play make. So I just don't. They
damn well's going to do that.
That's my thought process behind it, B-Souls, especially with the whole Dominique Wilkins thing. Like, that's literally like saying Trevor Ariza wasn't a good playmaker. He wasn't asked to play make. So I don't know how you can definitively have that as an edge over.
And I get that, but let's say someone asks you, like, yo, is Rondo a better passer than Trevor Ariza? You're not about to sit here and say, but Trevor Ariza wasn't asked to play. Like, Rondo's just a better passer. You can say
no,
that.
you're talking about passing specifically. When we compare player to player, I can't say that X player is better solely off the fact that he could play make. Like, if he wasn't asked to play make, why is that a notch against him? I just don't.
You know what's crazy? It's like where Omar saying it in like a light way, funny enough, but like even role players nowadays, it's weird. Everybody's held to a GOAT standard, and then simultaneously, like the best of the best standards have often lowered for the regular season, and then they skyrocket in the playoffs. So like a guy like Dame going crazy in the regular season is held to Stephen Curry, Magic Johnson tiers of holy shit, Dame's on fire. Then he goes to the postseason and everybody smokes his pack when he loses. But simultaneously, a guy like Malik Beasley, who averaged 20 points and shot the ball really well, people are damn well going to pull. Well, Omar said, be like, oh, he don't play make, he don't rebound, he don't do this, that, and the third. It's like, it's Malik Beasley. Like, okay, he doesn't. like
smashing Larsa Pippen, so he's got that going.
So it's weird. It's weird for sure.
It is weird to expect literally all NBA players, regardless of position, especially like
to be LeBron,
to be everything, literally everything. And I just don't, especially when we're talking a conversation. It's crazy to have a power forward conversation and we're seriously taking into consideration like 3-point percentage or something like that. To say that Josh Smith versus, I don't know, Zebo, and we're talking about 3-point percentage is the determining factor. It's like, what the fuck? They're both power forwards. Who do we really care about that? Like, I don't give a fuck about none of that, nigga. But all in all,
go ahead. No,
I was gonna say I just can't wait till football discourse gets to the level. I mean, basketball discourse gets to the level of football discourse. Football discourse is great.
Football is perfect. It's perfect.
I think it's just, and I can say this because I've mentioned my takes have become much less aggressive as time has gone on. It's because I have been confidently wrong and it's bit me in the ass. Based on how NBA Twitter is, you should not say most things with extreme confidence, because if it ages poorly, they'll get your ass for it. I can attest. Like, just like, you should not.
On the opposite route, I ain't gonna lie. Recently, I'm like, bro, who cares, bro? Like, it's my opinion.
Yeah,
like deal with it.
I don't think people should care that much if you are wrong. I think what most people are offended by is two things. It is the confidence in which the take is delivered, and then not backtracking on it when you clearly should, as it has been proven wrong. Like, you imagine if I was like hating on Luka Doncic because I had that terrible take about him. No, Luka's one of my 3 favorite players in the league now.
Man, imagine shit. W self promo. Like the same thing I did with Giannis. Like people was on my dome when I said Giannis sucks 7th. I thought he was worse than AD, because he was a playoff choker, all that shit. And I was like, however, even in that video, I was like, if he steps up, I'd think of him differently. He steps up, and people still give me shit for that original take. So I literally go on and make a whole Giannis video. I put myself in 4K. I'm like, this is what I said about Giannis. Now, yes, y'all are overreacting anyway, but I was fucking wrong. That this man Giannis is different.
At this point, I just kind of laugh at my old bad opinions. Like, I don't even get like, oh no, not this. Unless people are like being dicks in the quote tweets, because sometimes people are like just so rude that I'm like, I'm just gonna delete this because I don't want to deal with this bullshit. Right. But as long as we're like, all of us laughing it together is a good time to me. I had a tweet a while ago that was like, Jason Tatum and Lauri Markkanen are going to be the 2 best players of the 2017 draft class.
Oh man,
and I was right about one of them.
Hey Lauri,
Speaking of being hellaciously wrong, and I'm gonna transition B-Souls. I got the mic back. Ben Simmons in the process.
Benjamin
was the NBA was the Philadelphia 76ers wrong. So it's been reported that Ben Simmons is basically just out of Philly. He's out in Philly. He wants out.
Not going to training camp.
Differences. He's not going to training camp. He doesn't even want to eat the food there anymore. Do we still believe? I don't know everyone's opinion on this, but Rusty's here now, so I want to ask, does the process work? What do we see the future of Ben Simmons as, and what do we see the future of the Philadelphia 76ers as?
Well, I made a whole fucking deep dive about the process. I think it's more nuanced than does it work or does it not? Because, like, I think the pieces for the most part were put together to build a contender. And if that's what the goal of the process was, then that was achieved. After that, though, the handling of those pieces was not the best. Ben Simmons at this point, I think most reasonable people would say at this point he's underrated because the slander has overcorrected to the point where people think he's a straight up scrub when it's not the case. He's a defensive player of the year candidate and a damn good playmaker, a pretty good rebounder, and at least in the regular season, like 16 points on decent efficiency. Obviously not the scorer that you'd like him to be, but it's not nothing. Like he's not a complete zero like he was in the Hawks series. But I think almost everybody hated the Ben Simmons and Embiid fit immediately. Did they not?
It was already sus from the
everybody but Stephen A. and Max Kellerman.
You know what's funny?
Everybody that isn't on.
Everybody that we ask about Ben Simmons, no matter the platform, they'll say a different points per game, and it's like wildly different.
I think it's like 14 actually.
You're the first person I ever heard say 16 because there's some people. He's at least a 10 point per game scorer. He's at least a 12
I'm talking about his literal averages.
I don't think it's 16.
Like, I think it was 14.
It was 14 last year, but for a majority of his career, it's been around 16, 17.
I think his average for his career is 16. I know he averaged 18 one year. Let me see. His average is 15.9. His average is 15.9. So pretty fucking close. 16. He averaged 17 one year, yeah. But I mean, people are acting like he's not a top 50 player or whatever. He's probably a top 50 player, but
he's barely not, he's barely.
But he's like probably in the 40s when I would have put him in the at
20s,
bare minimum, like at 25. Bare minimum 30, at bare minimum 30 in the past.
Yeah.
And I've always been a Ben Simmons guy, but I was like, I can't defend this shit, dude. I can't defend that.
Man, what's crazy about Benjamin Bartholomew Simmons is the fact
his
that
actual middle name
is the fact that like people love to do the thing where he was like, if you get the jump shot, da, 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 da. And it's like, bro,
he's
fuck
never
that. One, thank you, never gonna get it. Two, fuck that. If he can score. Three, bro, it can be one weakness all we want. I don't know when basketball turned into a checklist, therefore making you a greater player. If he has the inability or refusal at times to score the basketball, that hurts. The biggest
problem with Ben Simmons and the infamous clip that's getting him slandered is not him not taking a jump shot. It's him passing up a dunk.
Yeah, like, it's like, what can you do with that?
There's a whole like a concept of wiring, like how your brain works in regards to basketball is a big part of this, where Ben Simmons has the physical tools, and we've seen his efficiency around the rim to suggest that he could easily be a dominant player in the paint if he really wanted to. But his brain does not compute that. He is incredibly passive to a point that is, I think, just as detrimental as a lack of a jump shot. I think it's just as big of a problem as not being able to shoot, is that he's afraid to score the ball.
I 100% agree.
I think my thing is, though, like, one, there's a conversation about the process, and I'll have this. I'll flip.
Oh, we can talk about that too. Yeah.
But my thing with Ben Simmons is, I feel like a lot of it has been disservice from coaching and from front office. Now, I might be a huge advocate for like coach change. But ultimately, after listening to a couple players and everybody talk about like what happens in the NBA, your coach's job is to put you in the best position to succeed. And outside of his like rookie year, I don't think that they've ever put Ben in like the best position to succeed.
Well, I don't think you could put him in the best position to succeed with Joel Embiid on the roster.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They've tried their best with Embiid also being in that plan.
And that's true too. Well, I can't even.
Well, the one offseason where they signed Tobias Harris not Tobias Harris.
Al Horford. It was like Al, Tobias, and JJ. That 2015. Not 2015.
No, they didn't. They didn't bring back JJ, which was a big part of the problem. They traded for Josh.
Oh, you're talking about after. Yeah,
okay. Josh Richardson, Tobias Harris, Al Horford. The best shooter in your starting lineup is Josh Richardson. Yeah. Are you kidding me, dog? Like
so that's
that I can say definitely put him in a.
That's what I'm even saying. Like honestly, y'all have been doing gross disservices in the fact, like we're saying, like you're sacrificing a bunch of shooting, to get Al Horford and Josh Richardson. I don't even understand. But if you don't put that player in the best position to succeed, I honestly don't think that they have.
put Ben in the best position to succeed ever. Well, yeah, like in the best one was maybe his rookie year or whatever. And if it's not with Joel Embiid, then get him up out of there. Get him up out of there. But I don't think he's broken. I don't think he's broken by any stretch of the word, because there's still a world where he's shown me that he can do what he can do without Embiid on the court.
I'll tell you what, if he gets traded to the Timberwolves, he's gonna fucking thrive. No,
I would say that'd be like one of the better spots for him. You give him a guy like Cat.
That's the best.
Him and Cat being in the front.
Because Cat is, and I get slandered for it all the time. I'll say it because I believe it. Cat is arguably the greatest shooting big of all time in terms of 3-point shooting.
3-point.
Three-point. I don't think it's a debate. I'm talking about the shooting now.
That he's the greatest 3-point shooting.
Yeah, 3-pointer is not a question.
Al Horford,
but like his 3-point shooting, I assume the trade would probably be Malik Beasley and some sort of contract filler at that point, because I don't know what their exact stuff. I think it'd probably have to be what's his fucking name, Taurean Prince, to make the money work.
Trade D'Lo.
Yeah, I think Sixers want D'Lo.
The D'Lo hype is over, bro. Unfortunately,
Taurean Prince is on that team, and D'Angelo Russell's ass. Oh no, Taurean Prince is on that team. I think it right.
Yeah, he is. But I just, for the money, I think Ben's value is so low that you can probably get him for that.
Malik Beasley.
Yeah, like Malik Beasley, hey, he's a incredible shooter, and that's something that fits well next to Joel Embiid, and probably be a first-round pick or two as well, and whatever filler else you can do from there. Because I would really try to keep D'Angelo Russell if I'm the Timberwolves, because I specifically have always felt that Ben Simmons should be in a Draymond Green type of role at power forward, rather than the primary ball handler, because in the half court, his playmaking is not nearly as impactful as the ball handler. So if you have him in the pick and roll, like Draymond does with the pick and roll with Steph, he gets rolling to the rim, defense collapses, he'll make the correct pass.
Cat in the corner, crazy.
Yeah, like passing it out to the
Cat
best.
in the corner or Ant on the wing. Oh my god!
Cat on the corner, Ant on the wing, or is Ben Simmons shooting 60% in the paint?
And if you have Cat, you keep D'Lo, and you have Anthony Edwards out there. Who cares?
Ain't gonna get 5 of the top 10 dunks.
Who cares if Ben Simmons not scoring?
Got 3 other people averaging 20.
You have
20.
3 guys who can average 20, and that team desperately needs defense. I imagine Jaden McDaniels would start at the 3. He's a really good defender, plus Ben Simmons. Or they could maybe even bring Patrick Beverly as a starter at the 2 or whatever. Their defense will be good, and he'll be the main factor in that. His playmaking will be
win
elevated
a defensive player of the year.
His I don't think so. His defense will be elevated, or his playmaking will be elevated by being the secondary playmaker in that role. And with all the spacing out there, his lack of a jump shot is not nearly as big of a problem as it is with Joel Embiid trying to post up on the low block.
But that's what I'm ultimately saying, though. Like, these adjustments, even trying something new. Philly has never tried anything new from a play style standpoint with Ben Simmons. They've just tried to ram this down his throat, and it's done nothing but stagnate him as a person. I think to be fair, and I'm not one to be fair to the Sixers management over the past few years, but to be fair to them, Joel Embiid is a lot better, and you're not going to trade Joel Embiid to build. No, not even that. I just mean, okay, we just talked about him being more of a Draymond role. They never tried him being more of a Draymond role.
You could argue they were going to try and do that with a certain point guard who forgot how to shoot, but.
But they didn't do it. So ultimately, it didn't happen. So that's what I mean. And as far as the process goes, in my eyes, I think like Rusty said, it's a bunch of nuance. I think you have to for a franchise, you have to define what the process means to you, and I think you do that by defining like what the end goal is. Because ultimately, some could say, hey, if they're able to pull off like another all-star or borderline all-star caliber player for Ben Simmons, and the process worked. It's about getting assets and being able to do whatever you want to do with those assets. Some have argued it's about championship or bust. Like, that's what the process ultimately means.
The process is essentially just shameless tanking to get good talent and then win from there.
But that worked. But
if that's what the process is, and that's what it is to me, they did achieve that.
But the process would have worked had they managed it better. And all you had to do, it was one thing would change how we looked at the process for the Sixers. One single thing.
Ingram.
No. You draft Jason Tatum.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah,
You draft Jason Tatum instead of Markelle.
Yeah.
The process is completely different. Literally, we have, and
Too
then
bad.
we're talking the same team.
Fuck y'all.
We're talking the same team that's able to pull off the Jimmy Butler deal still. So now you have a lineup of Simmons, Tatum, Butler, and Embiid.
You probably get Redick anyway. You probably get Redick anyway.
You still got Jason.
Crazy. I just don't think that solves.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
I mean that could still win a championship 100%. 100% that could still win a championship, but I don't know that solves the Ben Simmons not fitting with Embiid issue. At the same time, though, if you have Jason Tatum, him not fitting with Embiid is not nearly as big of a deal as it is now.
You mix match lineups.
Ben just sitting the dunker.
But also just drafting Brandon Ingram in hindsight, Ben Simmons was the obvious number one pick. But if they had taken Brandon Ingram fits significantly better next to Embiid than Ben Simmons.
But I wouldn't even say that because again they had multiple chances. It's about what you do. I mean, hell, if they would have traded Ben Simmons, I don't know how much credibility they have. Everybody's been trying to discredit it, but if they just traded Ben Simmons for James Harden, we still wouldn't be having these conversations.
Here's the thing about that. There are to give a little bit of a pass to Daryl Morey, mainly because he followed me on Twitter like a week ago, but there's a lot of reports that suggested that the Rockets just were never going to actually do that trade because there was beef between ownership and Daryl Morey.
Right. I mean, I say this in terms of calling the process a whole failure or not, it depends what you had the standards of it. Obviously, as y'all implied, if you thought the process is about becoming a dynasty, which honestly, that's what my intent was. I thought it was about being horrible. And then 10 years from now, you're like one of the greatest teams. So I wouldn't, but if to be less harsh and let's say it was successful.
Well, aren't they one of the greatest teams though?
The Sixers?
I mean, not realistically.
I mean,
no, I know hindsight is 20/20, Sage, but going into last season, they were clear to be at the top of the East, one of the top spots.
They were the number one seed in the conference last year. But
they were. But that's what I'm saying.
I at all.
No. But
I had five teams winning a chip before them.
No, and not even a chip. I'm saying to top the East, they were going to be one of the three teams to be a top of the East, right?
I'd say yeah.
And even if you had 5 teams above them winning a championship, that makes them 6. Like they're still one of the best 10 teams.
I guess that's a really low standard in my opinion, but
because
you got to think four teams make the Eastern Conference Final. I mean, 4 teams make the conference finals.
It's a low standard. It's a low standard for a team that spent like 6 years building.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
But again, and this is you were saying it, but I thought this is what you were saying. What was my realistic view of what the process could be at the start of it? And if it's to become one of the best teams in the league, being the 6th best team, what were they the year before? Maybe like the 4th best team or something like that. Like
they become perennial playoff teams through the process, and if you think that's the process succeeding, then
I think that's failing. If you're gonna tell the fans, wait 5 years, we're gonna be second round exits. I don't think that's
for all the years of horrible basketball that the Sixers fans were put through. I think they were all doing that with a championship end game in their mind.
Exactly.
And I think that's what Sam Hinkie, when he pitched to Sixers ownership, what he was going to do. I think that's what the plan was.
But the plan changes drastically if Embiid isn't missing his first 2 seasons. Like because you got to think about it. 2011 not the last year they made the playoffs? Was that not the Jrue Holiday, Thaddeus Young led team?
2012.
So you got to think about it.
Rondo busted their ass. Yeah.
Embiid's drafted 2014. They were in the playoffs 2012. They really only tanked without any prospect. They tanked a season or 2. They get Embiid. If Embiid's healthy, let's say his rookie year he's healthy, he's a good big. There are in the East, that's winning you more games with what they got.
I can't go that route though, because they draft. I said I can't go that route though because they drafted him knowing about his status at Kansas. And
that's true.
But regardless,
wasn't it pretty much a guarantee?
He wasn't going to play. Yeah, he wasn't going to play 2 seasons.
It was a guarantee. No. I don't think he was.
I don't know about 2 seasons.
It was a guarantee he was going to miss 1.
Yes, it was a guarantee he was 1 season. That season you plan on taking. That tanking season, was that not the year? What 2014, 2015? Simmons was what, the 2016 draft?
No, I think that was Bob Simmons right there.
Pops.
What, 2016?
2016 was Ben Simmons.
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause
2016 was Ben Simmons and
was
Brandon Ingram.
Jaleel
2017 was
Okafor.
Jason Tatum. Yeah.
They drafted Jaleel Okafor, which again that goes
He's so
to
you and Jason Tatum.
the process works if you make the right picks. If Embiid's healthy, or at least healthy his second year, you don't take Jaleel Okafor in 2015. You take somebody. We can look at the 2015 draft and find somebody else they could take that would have helped them way more than Jaleel Okafor could have.
That's where I was gonna go with.
That's not true.
Yeah, with the way the Sixers were drafting back then, they were literally on the mindset of I'm taking the best player available.
That's where I was gonna go with it.
But go ahead.
Like I was like my whole thing. I don't know how we got here. I wasn't even gonna stick to the little failure thing. I was gonna talk about how drafting the best player and tanking to do that is kind of a bit overrated in itself because they drafted like 4 centers. They drafted athletic prospects like Roten, hoping he would work out.
Don't just
Michael Carter Williams literally peaked his first game. They took a lot of risk on just making like, okay, we're gonna figure it out. Like they did the whole Max Kellerman, get Jordan, put him at center thing. Let's say the process worked. And they would have had Michael Carter Williams, Ben Simmons, Tony Roten, and
I don't
MC.
Think they invested that much.
I'm just gassing. I'm gassing.
Tony Roten seem like a second.
All right, we're gonna run with the Tony Roten. All right, I'm gassing it clearly. But like they had them. They have 3 point guards they took high with Fultz, MCW, and Simmons, and then they're gonna go with the bigs of Nerlens, Jaleel, and Embiid. Like off rip, that doesn't make sense.
You know what's crazy? This showcases just how different basketball was not even that long ago. There was like, oh yeah, Nerlens Noel can play power forward next to Joel Embiid. Like that was a thing that people thought, which is hilarious.
Say, that's the other thing too. Let's not, because I just criticized people for doing this. Let's not act like we don't understand the landscape of the league back then. 2 bigs wasn't like a far-fetched idea. Literally every draft analyst, everybody, you need to take another big so you can get the Twin Towers going back or whatever the case may be. So that's for one. And then for 2, I would say like, I can't ignore the fact that there's a bunch of luck involved in these things and a bunch of timing as well. They decided to tank when drafts just weren't ultimately that good. But what they decided as well is like, we're just going to try to hit big on one of these. I believe the process is you tank so you can acquire assets. Asset management is a separate thing. We wouldn't be having this conversation if they trade Jaleel Okafor on draft night or if they trade him early. We wouldn't have this conversation if they trade Nerlens Noel earlier than when they did. We wouldn't have these conversations if they would have did the same thing with Michael Carter Williams.
Can I say this about a second? Yeah, can I say this about the process in general? I feel like there's almost like 2 camps of like Sam Hinkie was a genius and Sam Hinkie was a bumbling idiot. Like I think it's in between. Like I don't think
the truth is always in between, bro.
The process was doing something that had already been done, which is tanking, but doing it shamelessly to an extreme degree that's never been pushed to. Like teams would tank a season or 2 and they wouldn't be blatant with it. The Sixers were insanely blatant with how they did their tanking. That's really the only thing that makes the process stand out is that 1, it's named, and then 2, it was just a lot more obvious than how teams did it before.
But the thing is the process. So if you're talking about the process being attaining assets, tanking, that shit works if it's managed right. That's what I'm saying. Like you can't. There's
2 separate things. I think that's the difference.
But it can't be 2 separate things because the whole point of acquiring assets is doing something with
it's assessing the talent that you have too. So that's why I can't get with that drafting.
But what I'm saying is, it's more to the process than just acquiring assets. You have to do something smart with said assets for the process to work. That's the problem with the Sixers. The process worked. They just mismanaged it like a motherfucker.
I think y'all are saying the same thing.
Can I say this? Sam Hinkie didn't get a chance to actually build off of what he collected. He started this project and then someone else tried to finish it. So like, I'm not even going to give him the full crap. I'll give it. Is it Brian Colangelo?
Colangelo.
I think.
Yep.
Like
Colangelo.
fucking talking to shit to Sixers fans on burners, which is just hilarious that the general manager did that.
Forgot about that, bro.
That was bad. I'm not gonna give too much shit to Elton Brand because apparently he's just the face of the decisions of multiple people, and I feel bad about the fact that I gave Elton Brand so much shit because I didn't know about that until after the fact. But
man, have a backbone, bro. Fuck.
It was essentially him being the talking head of the decisions of multiple people. And it's like some people are like scapegoat the black man, which is like, so it's like I don't want to give Elton Brand too much shit, but whoever's responsibility it was for Al Horford, that was like as soon as everything got derailed. Like actually, it's probably more Markelle Fultz, but that's not entirely. Well, it's not. It might be more their fault than. Maybe
we're led to believe you.
I don't know. That's all. I don't think we'll ever fully know what that situation was
until 30 for 30 drop.
But like,
I'll be watching.
I'll be watching. But like, 100%. But like, in terms of how we view the process, if we're just looking at it from the perspective of the person behind it, Sam Hinkie is not responsible for what happened after. He's responsible for putting the pieces there. So the mismanagement of those pieces was on people after the guy who actually put them there.
Yeah,
I agree.
I mean, and I guess like a way to close it out. I mean, managing the assets is fine too, but you got to think when you're drafting these talents, you're looking at them as an asset. Even when you're drafting them, you're not just drafting a random name and then hoping they work out. You're drafting a player, somewhat assessing their talent and seeing what they could be as a future asset. And it's the fact that their highest picks of the process were Michael Carter-Williams, Joel Embiid, Jahlil Okafor, Ben Simmons, and Markelle Fultz. But they let a lot of talent go, such as, I mean, Elfrid Payton fucking sucks. Jeremy Grant, Rashawn Holmes, Willie Hurt.
You're reaching for these though. How far was Jeremy Grant?
I'm about to say.
I'm saying they're lower end picks, but even with a draft pick, the goal was every asset matters. And when you're trading away those assets for literally forgettable trades or just trading them during draft night.
I mean, Jeremy Grant was kind of ass until he got traded and he just immediately got good.
That's what I'm saying. Jeremy Grant was a nobody.
The Sixers don't know how to assess their assets and they don't know how to develop assets.
I'm giving them full for not assessing their talent.
But the Sixers had Jeremy Grant though. They didn't pass up. They had him.
Yeah, and they let him go. I'm saying they had assets, they've had talent, and they didn't know what to do.
Rashawn, they also had Christian Wood, but so
they've had endless times.
These guys would have gotten lost in the sauce behind like Robert Covington and Dario Saric and all them as well. But ultimately, it was just about the second set of management not being able.
I think the biggest failure was not taking fit into account.
Why does that matter?
That's what I'm saying. I've been wrong about it the whole time.
How does fit not matter?
Why does that matter?
Why does fit? What do you mean?
Mind you, and this is my opinion. This is the way I'm looking at it, and I feel like this is the way that Sam Hinkie wanted to do it. I'm not trying to build a team. I'm trying to acquire assets.
Mm-hmm.
If you're
I'm talking about the after the fact. The management after the
I can't say what Brian Colangelo
like signing Al Horford to play power forward was 2019.
Al Horford is a power forward.
But no, he's not. He's a center.
At this point, he is.
In today's game.
I'm about to say I had him in Atlanta for a lot of years. My boy he's a power forward.
I understand this, but like in the modern game, a player like Al Horford, even peak Al Horford in today's league is a center. No hesitation.
Yeah. But what I'm saying to y'all is like
just don't do two bigs anymore.
And I'm talking about strictly the process. I'm not talking about after when Colangelo and them came. If I am running the Knicks and we get the number one pick for 3 straight years back to back to back, and in those 3 years I have, and they're just names, but they're coming out of college, they're nice. Patrick Ewing, and then Hakeem comes out the next year, and then Shaquille O'Neal comes out the next year. I'm gonna draft the center every single year. The difference is I'm going to move them because I understand how the rest of the league values it.
And
Okay,
that's
from
where
that
the
perspective,
problem,
I understand.
Yeah.
that's
I
where the
feel that.
problem of the process. I
I'll
don't care
say-
about fit. If those 3 players are walking through my door,
Okay, yeah, that makes
what
sense.
the
That
fuck?
makes
Okay.
They off in to wear number 32 on this.
That's fair, but when
If
you
we're-
when you tell Jaleel, Embiid, and Nerlens to ball up, which they did,
Yeah, that's the
that's
problem.
that's what
No,
I've been
that's their-
saying this
that's their
entire
problem. That's their
time,
problem.
and apparently I'm just tripping. So I just shut the fuck
No,
up
that's
about
cool-
it
that's
because I'm like,
collegial.
what the fuck?
Look, in terms of like the job Sam Hinkie did draft wise, I'd say once again, it's not genius and it's not idiot. I think he's right down the middle. I made a deep dive about this, so I have a lot of talking points. But like, he hit on picks, he missed on some. I don't think he did notably better or worse than an average GM. More of Sam Hinkie and his legacy in Philadelphia was the creation of the process and the fact that it's the building block that got them to where they did. I think we're just repeating the same shit over and over.
Yeah, now we kind of like met in the middle. The only thing I can say is Hinkie got hoed. Like there's a universe.
Yeah,
There's a universe where Sam Hinkie still is managing them guys. He's made the Harden trade for some assets. He didn't go because think what happened the second Colangelo got hired. Tobias Harris, Al Horford, JJ Redick. Then you make JJ Redick and the other young players turn to Josh Richardson. Like,
can I say this is like this is like the thing we were talking about pre-podcast B-Souls, where it's like anytime an injury happens in a playoff series, we automatically assume it would have changed it. Like,
Yeah.
I'll say Sam Hinkie was so like kind of mediocre in terms of drafting and like signing players or whatever that I'm not gonna say like with certainty if they have Sam Hinkie at all.
oh yeah, it's
works
not
out.
certain. It's not certain.
But I feel like he should have had the opportunity to do what he did with what he acquired, because the league essentially kicked him out of his place because they didn't like how it made the overall league look. They're like, this is a stain on the product, so we're kicking him out from his job.
They let the
I don't think it
Charlotte
was
Bobcats rock.
I would say before we move on,
They let the
'cause I did
Charlotte-
want to ask where everyone thought Ben Simmons ended up. I will say there are GMs and coaches who are for certain stages of wherever you are as a franchise. So Hinkie could have been a tanking GM, and maybe they thought Brian Colangelo was the one that was supposed to navigate the assets. That's a wrong move because I think his track record is horrible. If I'm
Yeah,
not
it's not
mistaken.
good.
Yeah.
But again,
Ew.
there's coaches for tanking, just like the coach that's in Houston now. And then when they get better, when somebody shows up, he'll sure enough get fired, and then they'll bring in a more competent coach. But with that being said, where do we see Ben Simmons next season? What jersey is he wearing?
I don't fucking know. That's why I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I'm gonna be
'cause
honest. I don't know.
I don't fucking know. It's like
I
he's
hope it's the Timberwolves because I like the Timberwolves and I like Ben Simmons. So that pairing, I've actually
like the
been
Timberwolves.
advocating.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, I do. Cat is one of my favorite players, and I'm tired of his team fucking sucking.
Oh, so you like Cat? You like Cat?
I do like her. I do like
Okay.
that.
I like Cat. I really like Jaden McDaniels, and I think he's like one of the most underrated young players in the league. But I have been saying for a long time that Cat and Ben Simmons as a duo would be great. Like I've been advocating for those two to play together for a weirdly long time. Like that's the weird thing that I was so prevalently wanting. But now that it's a possibility, I'm very happy for it because I think their strengths and their weaknesses mesh perfectly. So it's
You know
like
what I can say? I don't like Ben to Golden State. Maybe
not
that's
if Draymond's
Why
still
not?
there.
I don't like Ben to Golden State.
I like him if Draymond's somewhere else, but I don't
Exactly.
To
know.
be
Yeah.
honest with you,
But what if? No, I'm not gonna say that.
I honestly think, and mind you, it might have happened a couple times in NBA history. Perfect teammate pairings. Like I think Michael and Scottie are like perfect. I think for what it was, Kobe and Shaq were perfect. I think LeBron and Wade were perfect.
Okay.
I think Draymond and Steph are so perfect that if you disrupt that, you will disrupt a lot more than you think. Because the chemistry is so crazy, and I just don't know if Ben Simmons that would be risking Ben Simmons being able to be acclimated to the Warriors system
Yeah, I
in a
agree
short
with that.
amount
He
of time.
doesn't think like
But what
Draymond.
if-
He doesn't
but
think
not
like
even that.
Draymond.
Why not put him at the 5?
You're
Ooh.
saying run.
Can't
You're saying run.
shoot. Draymond can't shoot.
The fact that I was about to
not
ask which
Draymond.
one.
No, not Draymond. Ben.
Yeah,
They
you're saying
can't
put-
play together is my point.
Why
Neither of them
not?
can because they can't fucking shoot.
Bogey couldn't shoot. Pachulia couldn't shoot. JaVale McGee couldn't.
David Lee at least had a
Draymond.
We're talking about the guys that played next
shoot.
to Draymond.
Draymond could shoot when those guys were together.
Yeah, back then
Draymond
forgot.
Yeah.
And he forgot. But I'm pretty sure they're going to keep
say,
Draymond playing his same Draymond.
You don't play two non-shooting bigs together. You just don't.
Well, I don't know about that. I can't agree to that.
I know
JaVale McGee, Dwight Howard, and Anthony Davis all wanted to.
AD got a mini.
Yeah, but they didn't. But they rarely ran.
They were at their best when AD was at the 5, and they were running too
big.
big.
They also rarely ran Dwight and McGee. They ran Dwight and McGee specifically when a center was giving us too many buckets. They wanted to rough them up. That was rare.
They both played like 10 minutes a game in the finals.
I personally think Damo, athletic big next to Draymond, so he can have some, I guess, lob threat ability there.
There's a reason why the Warriors always go to Draymond at center when they're in their big moments. They always go to that.
Their small ball lineup.
They always go to that because the spacing is just not good enough when he's out there with Kevon Looney or James Wiseman.
But we're talking about a team that's bringing back Klay Thompson, and they're going to run the traditional Warriors system. And when we think about, tell me the best Warriors teams the Warriors teams outside of the super team era with fucking Kevin Durant. And even with Kevin Durant, they still had a non-shooting big out there. My thing is they're going to run a similar system. At least they're going to emulate it. So if you have that with Wiggins, replacing what Harrison Barnes was, go back to 2015. That's literally the lineup they're probably going to run out there. Like that similar type of structure. If you're telling me they're not going to try to have Draymond shoot, which I doubt they're going to tell Draymond stop shooting. They're going to tell Draymond keep shooting.
He barely shoots though.
And on top of that, he was a much better shooter.
I think
back
he shot
then.
2 threes a game last season.
I'm telling you this now. When Klay comes back, he's going to shoot more.
Why?
Klay is not going to change Draymond's game that much.
Why would adding a 20-point score and a top 5 shooter of all time mean Draymond shoots more? If anything, it means he'd shoot less. For him to.
Okay.
Looking at the prime of Golden State, hell, when you sort Draymond Green's 3-point percentages, the 2 years that pop up are 2015-16 and then 2014-15. There's a reason for that. When you cut it down to 2013-14, the ascension of the Warriors, there's a reason for that.
I don't know why Draymond just forgot how to shoot.
And on top of that, to go even further with what Rusty just said, when you look at 2016-17, 17-18, the 2 years they won a championship, those are also the 2 years following. Those are also the 2 years KD joined, but his 3-point percentage declined from 33 all the way to a flat 30. Damn,
with Klay on the team,
it's a reason for that as well. And the years they've been irrelevant and or losers, he's been below 20. He has to get back to that 3%.
I hear y'all yelling numbers at me. I hear y'all make sense. It's logical.
It's not a coincidence.
Listen, all I'm saying is, I see a world on Earth 328.
325, right?
On Earth 325.
Right.
I see
we're
universe.
On Earth 327, so I don't know what to tell you.
So on Earth 325, a parallel universe, on a different multiverse planet,
right?
I see a world where the Warriors can put Ben Simmons at the 5 and it works. Call me crazy. I know everybody. Y'all not saying crazy. People in the chat saying.
But you're not Dr. Strange.
Chat ain't talking about it.
I wonder if Earth 325 is where that Spider-Man shit's going down.
Oh shit! That trailer was gas.
Shout out to the 155 in the chat right now. Shout out to all of y'all.
Yeah, I was just gonna say they're not talking about anything we are.
Man, they've been debating like Luka and Dame. And
I'm gonna keep it a bean.
Mitchell takes like all.
I'm gonna keep it a bean. It was like 2 troll motherfuckers that joined for the first time spamming, and they just fell for it. Like, now it's just up.
Shout out to the 155. If you're down there, make sure you are a subscriber. If you're new to this and you want to be true to this,
you see the bar.
You need to be a subscriber.
You're not real if you're not giving us money.
I'm not gonna lie. I personally have a surprise stream coming up very soon.
Hey.
So if you aren't subscribed, how you gonna know? Follow us all on Twitter as well. Our infos should be somewhere.
I hate to do this.
Hey, and if you're on Apple Music or Apple Podcasts, is that what it's called, right?
Yeah.
Apple Podcasts, we need 5 stars. I want to start reading off these 5-star reviews, not 2 stars, 5. What were you gonna
Anyone
say?
that does 3.5 is petty. It was trash. Like, yeah, you could have kept going. I just said something, read something in chat. The Tom Holland Spider-Man disrespect needs to stop.
I can't stand it. I can't stand it.
I don't know. He literally is like
the worst Spider-Man.
Like, he literally is like the fusion of what, like, Toby and I forgot other name right now because I'm blanking.
That's why it doesn't even matter.
Andrew, that's who. He literally, like, one was a bad Spider-Man but a good Peter Parker. The other was a good Peter Parker but a bad Spider-Man. So Tom Holland is literally, I don't.
He's in the mid.
I don't.
TSO, you have just said me has made my argument verbatim. Andrew Garfield was terrible as Peter because he was way too cool. Peter's a fucking loser. You're not supposed to be hot and riding a skateboard. Thank you. He's a great Spider-Man because he makes funny ass quips. He's actually entertaining as Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is a fucking Spider-Man as Spider-Man. He's such a fucking loser. Like, he's making dad jokes out there and like not even in a self-aware way. But then he's fantastic at being Peter because he is really good at portraying.
He's a weirdo.
He's really good at portraying a goddamn loser who has a rough life and is broke as shit. Tom Holland, I get the fucking what's his fucking name? Tony Stark criticism. I think it's way overblown, but I get where it comes from. But just from looking at the character, Tom Holland is really good as Peter Parker. He's smart. He's a loser, even though he's fucking dating Zendaya.
Yeah, loser. Trying to make Zendaya loser is crazy, but that's a different day.
But he's like, oh, I don't know, like a fucking nervous ass kid as Peter Parker, which is perfect. He's smart, which is perfect. He's funny, which is perfect. And then as Spider-Man, he's funny and kicks ass. Who cares? Like, he's both halves of the character. Spider-Man / Peter Parker. It's two different versions. You're supposed to portray him in his real life and him as the superhero. And Andrew Garfield only does one right. Tobey Maguire only does one right. Tom Holland does both right.
In the mid.
Dom, you clearly disagree.
You want to know why I disagree?
Well,
I only disagree because I'm against this new notion going on in American acting where we are legit just what's the colonizing American roles with fucking English people. I'm sick of it. I'm fucking sick of that. Stop colonizing American people with fucking Brit. You know how sick I am.
It's weird though to watch a movie. These motherfuckers speaking American and then like
you fall in love with a character. Like, yo,
Jesus
that's
Christ.
my dog, and you see him on some talk show. I man, yeah, mans don't just know. I'm like,
man's had a challenging shoot.
I'm telling. Did anybody here watch All Americans?
And that's what I was just about to say. And that's why All Americans is the worst show out,
bro.
All Americans.
I promise you,
that shit is literally called All American, bro.
Everything about that show going into it, I'm like, hell yeah, All American. It's called All American. It's about a black dude in Crenshaw, LA, talking about Black Lives Matter and fighting the power, fighting the system. I'm like, yo, I can get behind playing football, not soccer, football, and being a at it. Daddy ain't there. I'm like, I relate with a lot of this. And I see him go on, what is it, The View or some fucking talk show. He's and
that's what you get for watching The View. Are you a middle-aged mom?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. That's what you get. That's what you get.
First of all, that was the first time I see him on a talk show, and just him as him, not the fucking character. All right, fuck you. And I'm just like, bet. I'm about to hear Brody talk, and this nigga comes out there talking like fucking KSI, and I'm like, I can't. I've had it. I'm fed up. I'm kerfuffled.
I'm
kerfuffled.
I am the least patriotic and nationalist person ever, so I don't give a fuck where you're from if you play the character right. And Tom Holland plays the character right.
I'm not gonna lie.
And you probably love when Robert Downey Jr. played a black guy.
No,
oh my god!
I've never seen Tropic
and that's
Thunder,
the T.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Tropic Thunder. No. Tropic Thunder is one of my favorite movies because when I was a kid, I dead ass thought that nigga was black. Like I did not know.
Well, I've never seen it, but isn't the bit that everyone's cringing at the fact that he's in blackface? They're like, that's not okay. So like it's like a meta thing.
Yeah,
Well,
they don't understand the satire behind it. But also, with that being said, it's still blackface.
It's still not good.
blackface.
Yeah,
But
it's not good.
With
at
that
least
being
it's
said,
not. At
by
least
black
it's not
people.
straight up like minstrelsy. At least.
with that being
I
said,
guess.
Tom Holland is a bitch.
Oh God.
Just in 66 new laws in Texas, and
Tom Holland's the best.
We
and
can
it's not
wrap it
close.
up after.
It's not close.
66 new laws in Texas. Abortion ban before women know they're pregnant. I don't know how that works.
I think
but
you read it 666, not just 66.
That's
Well,
what I said.
it's
I might just
banned
cut out.
after 6 weeks of pregnancy, and most people don't
666.
know they're pregnant until after 6 weeks of being pregnant has passed.
$10,000 bounty for civilians who report abortions. Anyone over 21 can carry a gun without license or training.
That sounds like Texas right there.
Critical race theory outlawed, and blocking a road while protesting is now a federal crime. These all go into effect today, September 1st.
If you would have told me all this, I'd have been like, this is either Texas or Florida.
Jesus
So
Christ.
basically, black people get out of Texas.
Yeah.
The
If
gun
you
thing is-
protest.
The
There's
gun
some
thing is
wild
like,
laws, bro.
the gun
You
thing
say
is
unlicensed? Like
Yeah,
you don't even have to
unlicensed.
register? it?
Unlicensed and untrained.
unlicensed and untrained.
can
That's
just
a
walk-
crime everywhere else.
Yo, you can walk up to a store and be like, "I want that 9." All right, bet.
I
That's-
need-
$29.55.
That
all
is
he's- all he's gonna
that's
say
a
is I
cheap
do.
ass gun.
Hey, Dom, fuck
Yeah,
that.
you
You
never
can
been
walk
to the
into
pawn
this
shop?
store. Dom, fuck that. You can walk into a 7-Eleven with a fucking AK out. Yeah, man, I'm gonna give me some motherfucking Cheetos. How y'all doing? Oh, my bad. I ain't mean
Yeah,
to
yeah,
do
Slurpee.
that.
about, they're literally about to test the theory of if you put more guns into a community, will there be less crime because people have more guns? So
God forbid crime rate goes down. Then Florida's gonna
Oh
do it.
my God.
Alabama's first of all, everywhere down south gonna do it first.
But
It's
if
gonna
it
have to
goes
break down
down, is it really like
I'm
if there's
much more
data to prove it?
concerned-
Then?
I'm much more concerned about the abortion law than the gun thing. But
That's what
mostly
and that's what
'cause
I was
don't-
gonna say. Could
mostly
you
'cause I don't live in
imagine?
Texas?
Could you imagine Dog the abortion bounty hunter, like dead ass going around trying to find?
Hey, you got it. Hey, you got it. You got it. You got it. You got it.
Could you imagine a mullet and sunglasses going around?
Do you know
trying to
how
find
that is the
placenta?
most morbid, hilarious thing I've ever fucking heard.
Yeah, like what the hell?
because it's funny that might become a reality in the darkest way possible.
No
Like, are you
cap.
kidding me?
I'm about to say, you said it's a $10,000 reward for people who snitch on people get abortions, right?
Yeah.
Is it wild that does not sound like nigga? What?
This dude dumb.
Yeah.
What?
Uh,
This
I'm
motherfucker
outside
said
of
10
Planned-
bands.
Bro,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
outside of
imagine-
Planned Parenthood with a notepad and pencil, nigga. Like, go
That's
ahead.
what I'm saying. Could you
Write
imagine?
down
Oh,
license
Wait,
plate.
this is
You know,
What's that?
you know
What
what's-
are you
you know
talking
what's-
about?
you know what's even more fucked up about this law? And this is gonna bring the mood down a lot. There is no exception for rape or incest. So if you
Oh,
get
shit.
raped
Oh,
and
fuck.
you don't realize you're pregnant until 7 weeks later, you're keeping that baby. Or you're doing it,
Allegedly.
or you're doing it illegally, which is extremely dangerous. And if you do manage to survive, some motherfucker is gonna report you for 10 grand.
That yo, that's, I shouldn't be
or-
laughing, but
or-
Jesus
They're
Christ.
dead gonna
Yo,
say
yo,
this is the
that
recovery
is-
shuttle.
Go to
This is the
Oklahoma.
recovery shuttle to
Yeah, that's
Oklahoma.
tough. That's
That abortion in
tough.
Oklahoma, bro. Nobody
That's the
knows.
problem though, because not everyone can just afford to travel.
no. I
Like
think
Texas is so fucking big, it takes like 16 hours to cross the fucking thing. So
Donald,
to go, if you're at the bottom of Texas, you have to go all the way to Oklahoma.
Yeah,
That
that's-
is not
yes.
something a lot of people
Or-
can afford.
Go down to Mexico.
but the thing about the reporting thing is, I don't think if I'm not mistaken, I would have to definitely read these specific laws again. It's not about if you it's not about where you had it. If you're a Texas resident and you leave the state to go get the abortion and come back, they can still arrest you for it.
If people find out, that's why you keep your mouth shut.
Oh,
man.
that's what. Yeah. No, that's another
Don't
thing.
be going
but
around telling people your business.
again, I could just imagine
Bro,
a
all I know
dog, the
is-
abortion hunter.
Call me
Like-
Darren. Fuck Karen. I'm a
Like,
Darren.
let's
snitch.
say I'm in Texas. I
I'm
get
snitching.
someone that I know, I get someone I'm close to pregnant, and then they get an abortion. And someone snitches on me, I'm killing that fucking person. He's gonna die. I mean, I can have an unregistered gun, so fuck it. I'll fucking kill him.
That's me too.
If you do some like that's the most evil. That's like a comically evil thing. Who thinks of that shit? That sounds like something a bald villain in a comic book would come
Or
up
a
with.
very Republican state. But
Man,
shit,
yeah.
Texas.
Man,
But this
like
is
I
not
said,
the-
comic book villain being Republican.
do y'all think the crime rate actually is going to drop in Texas? Or you think it's going to go up?
I don't fucking know.
I don't know.
I don't know at this point.
I personally, like, no cap. I think it'll go down.
It's gonna be a systematic thing where
I don't know.
it gets played off.
They might rig the stats.
It's gonna be a bunch of people with ill intention that don't do any violence, so it goes down. It transcends globally.
My opinion on guns has been so wishy-washy. Like times where it was like ban all of them, and someone was like give everybody an AR-15 because fuck the government. I don't know. I've gone back and forth. I don't know where I think really.
Is if you're somewhere where you
I know abortion should be available to everybody, no question.
Facts. I'm definitely a pro-choice type of person, but I definitely feel like if you're in an area where you know for a fact everybody in this state has legal ownership to a gun, they don't have to be trained. There's no license. Like you would assume everybody has a gun.
Wait. Let me read this thing real quick. What are you doing?
What are you gonna do?
This guy says I'm a felon, so I can't own a gun anyway. You don't have to register it, so they're not gonna be like, nope, you're a felon, you can't have it. They just like, here, buy this gun. They're not gonna put your name in a system. Period.
Yeah, there's no registration. There's no papers behind.
So yeah,
they're gonna ask you card or cash.
So you can get a gun. Congrats, felons. You can get guns now.
Yeah, great.
But the thing is, now, unless you're just about to aimlessly going around shooting people on the street as a felon with a gun. What are you gonna do? You're gonna, I'm about to rob this person's house. Nigga, they got a gun.
It's Texas.
It's the Wild West.
It's Texas. They got a gun anyways.
But it's different. At first it was okay. You at least had. I mean, it's slightly different now because now it's like that wonder is gone. Now it's like, do they? Don't. There's no do they? Don't they? No more. It's legit. You just assume they do. So there's no point of doing anything. What's the point of trying to rob somebody with a gun if they can just be like, nigga, squeeze, like, nigga, I got
all
one
about
too.
the draw. You ain't ever see a Wild Wild West film. Man. It's about that draw.
I'm dead ass watching a pro-am game right now with Trae Young. It's not a pro-am. It's a gym session.
Oh
no, this is an open run, but it's Trae Young.
Tobias Harris. 2K.
Yeah, I was about to say Omar.
So you watching Agent? Is Agent streaming?
I'm gonna be real disappointed when man.
It's Trae Young, Tobias Harris, Boban, Aaron Gordon, Jordan Clarkson, and Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler be hooping. Adam Sandler always be hooping.
Do we have any
correction? He's a good passer.
Yeah. I'm not saying he'll bucket, but he always play.
I love that we went from Spider-Man to abortion to Adam Sandler.
Yo, not gonna lie, bro. Speaking on that. I've been watching a lot of Nick Briz videos lately, bro.
Do we have any questions? Do we have any questions?
This shit is entertaining, bro. That's all I
You got a guilty pleasure.
If you have questions, please.
He don't even want to do it no more. Now you want the Q&A.
Bezos, let me ask you a question.
About?
Let me ask you a question.
Q&A.
How many videos do you think you've watched of Nick Briz?
Like four to five.
4 to 5. Are they the newest ones?
Yeah, I went from like recent.
Never mind, then. No questions.
Okay.
I don't know who this person is.
Never mind.
Okay.
Yeah, because Dama's gonna be like, he don't be all that now.
No. I was gonna ask, out of all the videos you watched, how many of them were fights? Was fight started literally because of him or his team?
Most of the fights were honestly caused by other people, but they was talking smack the whole time, so I get why they be pissed type shit.
That one where Cud just smacked Nick Briz in the back of the head was crazy. I ain't gonna lie. He just did that shit. Like Nick got a bucket. He just said, I said, whoa, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I'm sparing you too. What the fuck?
Bro, I'm watching one and it's buddy with the beard. He's talking shit to some old nigga on the side of the court. Nigga, some dude's legit not even hooping. He's just there to talk trash. Gets mad and smacks buddy with the fucking beer can like old dude did with the iced tea shit. I was like, bro didn't have no malintent or nothing. He just talking trash when the dude just smacks him with the dang 40 ounce. I'm like, yo. But Omar says it's their fault. Crazy.
Is this cardiac?
Oh,
If you entice violence, but all right.
Yes, it's
Caleb.
Oh my god!
No.
Nah, I definitely had to make sure my name didn't pop up when I joined the Zoom. I definitely.
Oh wait.
No, we don't want to see your face. We don't want to see your face.
Oh my god.
Oh no, I couldn't even hear y'all.
What up?
Oh, it said. Oh.
Cardiac, what's your question, nigga?
Oh, I can't to argue about Spider-Man.
Go ahead, bro.
Bro.
Don't keep it too long. Don't keep it too long.
Toby was amazing.
No, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about the. Wait, can y'all hear the echo?
No,
You
bro,
sound fine.
no.
You sound perfectly
bro,
fine.
talk, bro, talk.
What was I saying?
Are
Andrew
you?
Garfield. He's not a good Spider-Man. Not at all, actually.
He is a little bit too much of an asshole for like who
Yes.
Spider-Man should be. Like the first reason he like starts doing Spider-Man shit is to kill the person that killed his uncle.
Yeah,
Not a
that
very-
was always
That's
weird.
revenge.
That was always weird. I was
Not a
like,
very- but I mean from like an entertainment standpoint, as Spider-Man, like the quips that he makes is like a lot of the enjoyment of watching him be Spider-Man. And fucking not Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire's like, you're done, Gobby. It's like, the fuck is that?
yeah, like
I mean,
the comebacks were definitely legendary.
That's definitely true, but I think that has more to do with Raimi rather than like Tobey's Spider-Man, because like all of Raimi's films
Who's
are really
to say? Who's to say? It's very campy. I understand that.
yeah, and you can see that throughout the entire trilogy, like with everything about Goblin is really goofy.
I can't stand. I don't like Green Goblin, to be honest. I just don't like really campy things. I'm not into that.
Green
I
Goblin
don't know
was
how you
always
stick
like
with those movies.
Cardiac,
Green-
did you dead come up here just to agree with everybody?
I didn't. I thought Rusty was gonna disagree.
No, he told
It sounds
you
like
that
you
he
don't got a
agreed.
question, bro.
Get this nigga out of
I
here.
agree that Andrew Garfield does have like that problem with being an
You really
asshole
kicked him.
early, but for the most part, as soon as that's passed, he's good as Spider-Man.
I see what you mean about Green Goblin. Though he was always like a video game villain.
He
to me.
looks like
I never
he looks
really
like a Power Ranger in that.
The
scene.
superhero
yeah.
villains.
I've always not like but like obviously he's a superhero, but like he's just more like for the games. Like I never really took him seriously.
Y'all are
Goblins,
excited to see him in this next movie.
100%.
Oh, of course,
no
of
question.
course.
Yeah,
Look, I have so much nostalgia for the Raimi movies, even though when I rewatched them, I'm like, these actually aren't that great.
Who is
but-
that? Who is
First
that?
of all, I'm not even excited about this movie no more because it's not doing what I wanted it to do. So fuck this movie.
What did you want to do?
Okay.
I wanted all three Spider-Man. I give a fuck about the
Oh,
villains. I wanted all
okay,
three
okay.
Spider-Man.
I think
Dang.
that's probably what's gonna happen. Well, I
It's
don't
not
get-
gonna
I
happen.
think
that
they're
profile
hiding
pic
it.
is
I
hilarious.
do
It's not gonna
think
happen.
they're
Did you not
hiding
hear?
it.
Did you not hear what JB Smoove said?
What did JB Smooth say?
He just like completely leaked that Tobey Maguire.
Yo,
was
yo,
in
yo.
it. Like he completely.
Who the fuck
just,
is this?
I don't know.
Yo,
So guess, bro. Trying to wait for the
Yo.
question. Shit.
love from the Bahamas, though. Love from the Bahamas.
Love you too.
I have a question. My question is, hold on.
Turn the stream down first.
Yeah,
Yeah, seriously.
pardon me. I have a question. So, why does Kobe get so much love? I don't get it. I just started watching basketball.
I hate.
Kobe get love.
That's a good
Why-
question. That's a
Rusty,
good
I'm gonna
question.
save you the time, Rusty. I've
No,
completely
I'm-
adopted your mindset of I don't talk Kobe Bryant, so y'all got it.
No,
I definitely got this. I talk Kobe all
Bryant.
day.
I don't
Go
talk
ahead,
Kobe
bro.
Bryant. Y'all got it.
I just started watching basketball because I was like strictly baseball.
Okay, so
'cause
that's a genuine question then, because I thought like if you're coming.
all I
from
know
an-
is LeBron.
Yeah, if
and-
you're coming from.
Wait,
an-
let him finish. Let him
Oh.
finish.
I'm gonna say let him finish.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I watched Kobe highlights like the 09 series and the 010 the 2010 series.
Oh,
So like when I play basketball, I would copy his moves, but I don't understand why like the basketball players in the NBA like love him so much. I think LeBron is better. I don't
Let
know.
me
I
let
think
me
this is
let me
easy.
go
I got
first. Let me go.
different-
Let me
that's a
go first. Let me
different
Oh, that's
I'm a
different.
hater,
That's
gotta go
different.
first.
That's
let me
different.
let me
That's
go
different.
first. Let me go first. So if we're being honest, Dylan, to me personally, I don't understand why Kobe would be at best Chris Middleton in today's NBA.
I hate this motherfucker, bro.
All right, bro.
Okay,
I'm
all right,
Nah,
cut him
you
off, cut him off,
trolling,
cut him
you
off,
trolling,
cut him
you
off,
trolling,
cut him
you
off.
Let me
cut him
let,
off.
me-
Dylan,
let me let me say this.
Hold on.
Let me
Let me give
explain
you a
this.
genuine answer, Dylan. Let me give you a genuine
Okay.
answer. The reason why a lot of NBA players and pro athletes now love Kobe is because the players now grew up watching Kobe. Just like for you, you just now started watching basketball. LeBron's your guy. LeBron's my guy too. Like for my era, LeBron would be the guy. Even though I came up watching Kobe, Kobe was more so like the 2000s Michael Jordan. Like every era has their GOAT. Motherfucker, like my grandparents had Kareem. My uncle, my dad had Michael. My older cousins had Kobe, and that's a lot of motherfuckers in the NBA. They grew up watching Kobe. That was the Mike. That was the GOAT of that era, and we have LeBron.
Well, I think there's another reason as well.
Yeah.
I mean, he was
like-
transcendent. And the motherfucker was amazing.
Well,
So, I mean,
not just
it was
because
done,
he
but-
was good. I think it's baseline obvious. Yeah, he's good, but it's specifically, and even though I think the term Mamba mentality is kind of cringy, it's still like overall, it's definitely a thing. And like the thing that made me love Kobe is, I mentioned it earlier, when I was 9, 10, 11 years old, when I was first getting into basketball, I would watch these compilations on YouTube that was just like inspirational, like watching Kobe work out and like different quotes and shit. It's real cringy, but it's like, it's kind of what gave me a work ethic. And Kobe is Kobe is like the example of like telling yourself, like my favorite quote from him is, if you make the choice and say, I am going to be this, do not be surprised when you are that. And it's like, he is the perfect example of someone being determined to achieve something and then them achieving it. So from that angle, not just on the top of the fact that he was very fucking good, it's that especially if you're an athlete and you are aspirational towards becoming an athlete yourself and becoming a professional athlete, Kobe is like the guy to look at for that, because you follow what he did, other than sleeping 3 hours allegedly. Don't do that. But like the way that he went about that shit is like, that's the blueprint. Kobe was the blueprint, and that's why so many players today love him so much.
Yeah, his genius on and off the court, it was insane. And when I say genius, I mean literal genius. He was a financial mogul. Hell, like the dude was built different. I could say with Kobe as well, one thing that isn't talked about enough outside of arguably Larry Bird, he, in terms of those elite all-time players, whatever, I assume most of you have them in your top 10, but nowadays people have them 11. But top 11, 12 players, Kobe is like the least genetically gifted of them, right? He's not 6'7" up. He doesn't have the OD wingspan, even though he has a nice wingspan. He doesn't have the OD wingspan.
I'd say Larry is the least.
Yeah, I say outside. Yeah, like right. Larry probably got it. And then like, yeah, you go, but Michael Jordan had damn near a 50-inch vert. Michael Jordan was like different. So
That's
Kobe,
a lie.
You
Look
looked
it up.
and was proven wrong. Don't even talk.
That
about
shit
it.
said
was-
49.
Nigga, that was TMZ Sports that said that.
I wasn't really focused.
I mean,
on the
like
specifics of
it
Just
wasn't.
like he was a credible leaper.
He was a really high jumper, bro. Like that's all I was saying. But either way, like Kobe, like damn, I didn't think it was that serious. But Kobe had to work for where he was at, where he got essentially.
I mean,
like,
Kobe was still definitely a much.
Of course, he's
genetically still in the top 1%, but he wasn't like there's some players just like, if you have that body and as long as you try, you're probably gonna make the league.
Like hell, you brought up LeBron. All right. Like a guy like LeBron, where you'd 6'8", 6'9", all of 260, 2% of its body, 2% of its body fat, and you're faster than everybody on the court.
Still the fastest.
Yeah, like, okay, you better be great at basketball, right? So
like
that's the reason why I started watching Kobe, because I used to think I was like stronger and faster than everybody. But when my knee exploded, that's when I started watching Kobe to be more skill based.
It's like to a much higher degree.
LeBron ain't got skill, is what I'm saying.
A bunch of people will watch Kobe for like
LeBron has skill, but he has skill
kidding.
on the level of like he has the skill on the level of Ben Simmons, but he has that not Ben Simmons, but like a premier point guard. You have the skill of Rondo, I would say. But he has the.
I get what you're saying.
I would. My heart.
That was just
my heart.
Did you see everybody's face?
My heart. Cool. Like I couldn't even like function. My heart dropped.
The reason LeBron is at bare minimum the second player of all time is that he has the insane genetics that he does, and he's one of the most skilled and smart players of all time. Definitely more skilled and smart than Rondo and Ben Simmons. I think that's a little bit of a disservice.
Yeah. Like
I think he just means like ball. Like
I know what he meant though.
Yeah, I know what he's talking
about. That's fine. I wouldn't have made a direct comparison, to be honest.
I know
the fact that LeBron built on the genetics that he had and then also had these incredible skills on top of it is why he's so ridiculous. So it's not saying that because LeBron benefits from his physical ability, that means that's what made him. I think that's what made him definitely an NBA player. It's everything else he built upon that made him maybe the greatest player of all time.
I mean, we just had the whole Kyrie Curry segment about the whole skills thing, And people always say Kyrie's the most skilled. It's legitimate. When you really sit down and think about it, what Kobe couldn't do in basketball is the question. Like the dude, in terms of skill, I don't understand how he's not in that conversation.
He wasn't always doing everything at an elite level 24/7. But if you ask Kobe to be the best defender, he can do it. If you ask him to be the best playmaker, he can do it. You can
Yeah.
ask him to drop 40, he can do it. Other than
Kobe could play make.
Best playmaker on what the Lakers, yeah, but
Kobe could play
no,
make.
I'm saying like if you wanted Kobe to average 8 assists per game, he absolutely could do that.
He definitely could. He
Don't
has
stop, bro.
He had
Stop.
Smush Parker and 2 iconic
Hey,
busts
bro,
on his
bro.
roster.
First of all,
I'm pretty
don't
sure
give
he
me the
averaged
Smush
close-
Parker Kwame shit. All right, I know.
I'm about to say, bro, like, don't pull that shit. Who is he supposed to dime to?
I believe he averaged nearly 7 at his peak. Let me find this shit.
I'm joking.
He averaged 6.
Nah,
he's averaged 6. He's averaged 6.
I'm gonna say
multiple
the
times.
highest is like 6. Yeah.
And that's with him never prioritizing playmaking at all, and he had the ability.
But he's always been he's always been an underrated passer. I won't say underrated playmaker, but he's always been an underrated.
Well,
underrated
Dylan,
passer.
appreciate the question, bro. Appreciate the
Well,
question.
Apologies, Dylan, for the initial response.
Yeah, initially I was like, I thought
yeah.
you were informed, saying why does people like Kobe? Because that's obvious if you do.
I one more thing. Bezos, when you do your TikTok reaction posts, please stop grouping every LeBron fan with that boy, because he's insane. He's insane.
Oh, that
he's just delusional.
Well, I forgot who it was, bro. I forgot his name.
Isn't that dude that always talking about Jordan? Is like, if Michael Jordan, that dude always
bro looking like a menace. Yeah.
I don't even know his name, but I
Appreciate
know
it.
who you're talking about. Yeah, he's
Oh shit.
oh shit.
Damn.
R.I.P.
All right,
No
that
more
should
love
be-
from the Bahamas.
We fuck with.
All right,
Nah, he cool.
we good with the Q&A.
Yeah,
everybody loves Michael Jordan.
getting-
But if you love Michael Jordan, how? If everyone's saying Michael Jordan's to go because he's 6-0, how is it Bill Russell to go because he got 11 rings?
That is the
If
fire.
Michael
That is the
Jordan's so
fire.
good, if Michael Jordan's so good, explain why he's bald.
What the
Hey,
fuck?
speaking of TikTok greatness though, DTP.entertainment,
Oh my god.
best group of content creators
Oh,
I've ever
God.
seen. And I heard they're from Atlanta. They currently live in
Oh,
Atlanta.
God.
I feel like a
Oh,
lot of
God.
creators
Who?
are from Atlanta.
A lot.
Bezos, how do you feel about that?
DTP.
I already made a
ENT.
video, man.
The
I
ones
don't
that
know.
talk about like old basketball.
They're Omar-esque. They're Omar-esque.
They're Omar S.
Is
Is
that
that
a
the-
compliment?
Is that the weird
Nah.
niggas Omar been trying to?
I don't.
Yes. Yes.
I'm not about to lie, Bezos. I haven't fully watched that video yet, but I got the premise of it.
They talk about how like Zach LaVine's the best
Yeah,
bull to
yeah.
ever wear the jersey, Kobe White over Derrick Rose type shit. Like they've gotten to a point where I get the criticism with like 80s and 90s basketball to a certain degree, but they're the ones pushing it to the next level and starting to criticize like early 2010s, late 2000s basketball now.
Listen, bro. Bronny James liked one of their posts. And
What
that's
does
all.
that mean? What does that mean?
With that being said, man, hey, it's been another episode of the LKIAB featuring RUSTY. Rusty, you see what I'm saying? Let's clap it up for Rusty.
Did we do a
Oh,
connect the
brother.
dots?
We
Oh, you
didn't.
said you want. Oh, you've been fiending for it. Okay, so give me 2 words, Dom. What if you fiending for the dot connect? I ain't know.
Lotion, book bag.
Lotion book bag. Okay.
What the fuck is happening?
Rusty, so when we're talking about lotion, right? You put lotion on your body to keep yourself moisturized.
Right,
So
right.
Of course, you don't want to be ashy. You don't want to be ashy or anything like that. And ashiness. If you scratch yourself, I'm dark skinned myself. It'll be white, right? It'll be the color of white.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
for me, it doesn't make a damn difference.
That's for you, but for me, if I scratch myself, it'll be white. So, and we know that there's one thing we don't want white people in a school to reach for, and that's a book bag.
I can't.
See what I'm saying? When they reach for the
Oh my
book bag,
I get what
you see what
That
I'm
was
saying?
good.
I really wanted to know how you're gonna pivot from white to book bag.
Lotion,
That was good.
lotion, and book bag. I'm
Oh
a
fuck,
dot
he gonna
connector.
do it.
This guy.
I'll give him credit for this. He found a way to not only connect it but be controversial. That's
Hey.
that's different.
Hey.
Oh.
But with that being said, shout out to the 120 in the chat, man. Make sure if you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, you give us a 5-star review. Make sure if you're a Twitcher, you want to
Twitcher.
follow and
That sounds like a
subscribe.
slur.
A Twitcher?
I don't like that.
That sounds like some sexual thing. That
Honestly,
sounds
and there's a
sexual. I don't like it.
conversation to be had because that whole YouTube Twitch thing today was a little bit. Apparently, it's crazier than we all thought. But
Oh fuck.
if you're
I
a
don't know what you're
Twitcher,
talking about.
if you're a Twitcher, go ahead and
I called them
Subscribe.
Twitchers, bro. It's like saying Dom Wilkins. Like no one says
If
that,
you're,
bro.
if you're on YouTube, make sure you hit that follow button. Or that subscribe button. Make sure y'all like and make sure y'all comment. Who do y'all want to see on the pod next, man? Let us know.
Yo, we didn't talk about the biggest event ever. Fucking Jake Paul won.
Oh,
We didn't even
Who
talk
cares?
about it.
Who cares?
No
Who
one gives a
cares?
shit.
Who cares?
Damo,
Who cares?
say goodbye.
Boo.
Say goodbye to the people, Damo.
Boo,
Say
nothing. You're
goodbye.
mad because you got fucking bad intel.
I said I
You just
don't
made
care. I
bad
said I
takes.
don't know. I
Damo,
said
say
I don't
goodbye.
know.
Say goodbye to the
All right,
people.
chat. It's been your mom's favorite midnight snack, and we will be back Sunday.
Hate that.
Follow me on
Early.
YouTube, Down Church 97. Follow me on IG, Young Damo 33. Follow me on TikTok, Down Church 97. We will be back with some controversial TikToks. We out.
Hey, Sage, say goodbye to the people.
All right, goodbye for now. I'm gonna eat a grilled cheese and stream later. Follow me on Twitch at TSO_Sage.
Niggas still using Twitch.
Yeah.
Twitchers.
Same thing for
Ooh.
the YouTube. Add a 2-3 for the IG. Take it back for the Twitter, and I'm gonna fuck with you then. But let me eat my grilled cheese first.
Rusty, say goodbye to the chat, man.
Bye to the chat, man.
I hate Rusty. I hate Rusty. B-Soul, say goodbye to the chat.
Bye, Twitchers. See y'all next
Bro,
time.
come on, man. What is
That
that?
does sound like a
so
slur.
bad.
All right.
It sounds like a
bad.
slur. Listen, y'all know where I'm gonna be. Green room for the post pod show. And until next time, peace.
Pull up the
Don't
shit
call the
room.
shit room.